everybody. We're so excited to be with you. I'm Laurel Daniels, and here we have...
I'm Justice Daniels.
Yes, and we're super excited to be with you for our winter market.
Yes, it's really exciting. We get to put on a little holiday season special event where you get to come learn about some charities, watch an awesome play, which we'll talk about a little later on, and maybe do a little bit of shopping if you're at it too.
Yes, and let's go ahead. Yeah, everyone let us know where you're joining in from. That's one of my favorite parts about it. I love being able to see that everyone truly does join from all over the world.
How's it going, Amy? It looks like we have a few ambassadors here. Amy Friend down in Ecuador. It's very fun. She does a lot of dancing content while quilting. It's pretty challenging, but very fun and cool. It was fun to do there at Houston. We got Carol Lynn from Texas.
Tammy, good morning.
Hey Jude from, this chat's moving, from Northeast Wisconsin. Very cool. Well, good. I hope everyone's enjoying winter as it rolls in. I know here in Utah we got a little dusting of snow last night, but it melted away pretty quick. So I'm excited to be able to go skiing. And speaking of skiing, some of that's like a holiday tradition for some people. What are the holiday traditions that y'all like doing? What is your family thing, or whatever you do?
Yeah, what is your favorite holiday tradition? I know especially everyone, they ask us, well, especially as, I guess somewhat newly married couple, they're like, well, what are your guys' traditions? We're like,
just
I guess what our families is, So we'd love to hear what you guys do. I know some of them are pretty unique and kind of fun. So let us know what some of those are. And yes, also please let us know where you guys are coming from as well. Because yes, it's sunny in Florida there, so that's awesome. Whereas it's a little chillier here. We have Southeast Indiana. Sandy, welcome everybody. We're super excited to have you.
Corin Robinson from the Bay Area in California. Nice. We got Belinda Brine. Excited to be here. We're all spending Christmas Eve together. Very nice.
That's a fun one.
Our little bit of a tradition is we go out and see a movie on Christmas Eve, and then we do a little pajama party with our family. And then Christmas Day, we end up going over to my family's, and then we unwrap presents early and do a breakfast and just enjoy the day with family. So it's really special, and we love it.
Yes. Yeah, super fun. Janice, we have trying to find Santa's boots. Sometimes we can find them. That's super fun. I did see this really cute dad who kind of just started. They had, just a little kid who finally was able to understand a little bit more what Christmas was. And he took, I want to say flour, and he had boots. And he would dip the boots in the flour, and then he'd walk around the Christmas tree. So it looked like Santa, had came freshly in, and he did, right, from outside in some freshly fallen snow. So I know that was kind of a cute one. I saw just the other day.
I love those wonders. Stacy, out there watching favorite Christmas movies and making Christmas gumbo. Oh, I'm interested what's in that. That sounds delicious. Family tradition is baking cookies from Tammy. That's awesome. I love some cookies. It's always fun leaving them out for Santa. Those are some of my favorite memories as a kid. And speaking of traditions, we'll keep reading them out as we get them. But winter market's a bit of a first tradition for Grace. It's really exciting that we're opening this up. Last year we did the 12 days countdown for the holidays, but this year we wanted to start a new tradition of really bringing the market atmosphere together. So enjoying an event where we put a unique twist on the sales side of things, so demoing the products with a little bit of a story, but also allowing you the opportunity to buy gifts and really enjoy what that is and learn about it, as it's a great time of the year and you're probably still thinking about, what am I doing for the holidays? What am I getting someone? I know I have a couple people I need to shop for still, maybe even myself. So
yes, I still have a few people I'm shopping for, and I know kind of on that same note, there's a few people who are like, hey, I'm sewing away, either it's today or that's a tradition of theirs. They start sewing on Christmas Eve or day of, they're still in what that is because they just truly love it. So this is the perfect time. We do have some amazing specials as well that we'd like to go ahead and show you guys. Now these ones are kind of unique where individually some of the items are discounted, but we do also have what we call a bundle builder. Now this is a wonderful one because it really allows you to be able to step into whatever is going to work for you, budget-wise, space-wise, really future-wise as well, and be able to get it at a wonderful discounted price, and again, be able to bundle that together. So this is just on our website, so graceframe.com. But I want to say, first you'll see it on the banner there.
Yeah, you'll see it on some banners, but if you go up to the shop button in the top right, you'll see you have two options. You have the bundle builder or shopper site. Now we built the bundle builder to compare your machines and frames because tons of people always want to know what's the best value and then what's the best for my space. So you can see you have the machines on top and you can swap through those. You're able to choose any of our machines, and then you'll see what frames are compatible with it. So if you choose a frame that's not compatible, so if we click on a Cutie frame right there, if you want it mine. Thank you, Milo, for helping us navigate the menu. It says this machine is too large for the selected frame. And so that's really cool because a lot of people have those questions. What works with what? And this just kind of helps clears it up, but it also shows you that savings. How much of a value are you getting for, you know, the holiday bundles and the specials that we're doing? I think it's really great to have this time of year. We'd love your thoughts and comments, you know, obviously, as you're going through that. Leave us reviews, but leave us a review in general. Grace wants to hear from you. I don't want to detract us from the value of these deals too much, so we'll keep going through that. But one of the biggest things is there's actually ways you can leave reviews on our website. So feel free to go to those products and leave a review. Let us know how you liked it. And even if it's not through us, I'm sure a dealer, anyone that sells a Grace product, we want to hear from you. And we really care about our dealers too, and they care about our customers all the same. And yeah, leave us the reviews at graceframe.com or obviously a local dealer. So that's really cool.
Yes, yeah, wonderful. And I do want to keep highlighting because we do have that wonderful bundle builder, but we also do again have those items where they are individually on sale. So if you're like, hey, you know, that's great, but you know what? I actually already have a frame and I'm ready to upgrade my machine. Absolutely an option, and you still can get it at a wonderful price. So right here, we're highlighting our 16X series. So starting on the left, we have that 16X manual. In the middle is that 16X, and then we have that Cutie 16X Elite. Now you can see every single one of those, again, just itself is also discounted. So if you already have something, you just want to upgrade, you definitely can do so. All those machines are fantastic. If you guys do have questions on, hey, you know, kind of what is the difference, let us know. We have a live chat on our website you can do. You can call us, go to your local dealer. They are very well informed and can be a great resource for you, especially to purchase from as well. They do have these amazing specials, and some of them, because they are more local, have different specials as well on top of what these already are amazing pricings.
And it doesn't stop at just our 16. Now, I remind you, these deals are so vast because it is the end of the year, because we're trying to help people get into their dream systems as it's the holiday time. And you'll see that we're changing up our promotions next year, so we're really trying to just help people decide what's right for them. Now, when you take a step up from the 16, you've got the 19 series and the 21, and you'll see that those are of great value. Some of the biggest differences is once you get up to the bigger machines, we don't offer a manual mode. Or we don't offer a manual only machine, I should say. All of those machines do work in manual mode, but you'll see the savings just keeps growing up there at the 21X Elite, whereas you know on the 16 we saw 1,000 as the biggest savings. We're getting $3,000 off that 21X Elite at the top end, so it's really great. It comes with, you know, obviously more throat space, a little bit more powerful motor, and that really nice display.
Yes, yeah, wonderful. And then of course we have our little Rebel. Now these we are super excited because we have been able to begin actually shipping these out. So if you guys will remember, or I guess have been staying with us, we did take pre-orders a little bit earlier this year. And so that's where, hey, we did have you in a little bit different pricing there, but now you still can get the little Rebel itself at a wonderful discounted price there.
Yeah. And just remember, as you do order those, like you touched on, we do have a little bit of a wait. It's an amazing product, a lot of excitement. But if you have questions, feel free to call in if you want any more details on that. But then a great frame, and you'll see it's at $4.99 right now, which is a huge deal. It's the Cutie tabletop frame. Now you'll see as we go through this, we're going to have 2 Cutie frames, but this is our original frame that we came out with. It has those handles on the bottom of the carriage. So you just put your domestic machine on this and you're able to operate it like a long arm would on a frame, moving it across. So it actually has that top carriage for you to use. It fits on a 2-foot by 4-foot table, and you'll just want to make sure, we recommend over 5 inches of throat space to have a good experience on that.
Yes, yep, just to have really the most ideal experience with that. Kind of going through it as well, I know I did see a comment where someone says, hey, they love their 16X machine, however, they wish they were able to get a larger frame. Well, now is absolutely the time, because we do have some of our smaller ones, again, including that Cutie frame at a discounted rate, or we do have ones like that Q-Zone Queen frame where you do start to get into that a little bit larger size. So we have that 5-foot Q-Zone hoop frame, and then we have that starting at 8 feet Q-Zone Queen frame. Wonderful frames, And then we also have some of our other ones. So stepping into our Evolution ones, both that hoop style, which again is that 5 foot, or you can get all the way up from an 8 clear up to a 12 foot on that Quilter's Evolution Elite frame.
It's really awesome seeing these frame deals as they are, but I did want to highlight real quick on maybe some of what's cool about how Grace separates their machines and frames. It allows, just like that customer was saying who had the 16, people want to grow. They get more experience. They acquire a bigger space. They're looking to try to do a new bit of craft or a new size quilt. Maybe they start off with wall hangings and they move into full king quilts. But we allow you to always separately purchase a frame and upgrade, right?
Yes.
And that's something I personally really love about our setup and system. And I know customers really appreciate when we're at shows hearing it, because you can start with that Cutie in the 16, you can move all the way up to the 21, right? Like, or you can move all the way up to a Quilter's Evolution hoop frame as you're upgrading. So that's really cool. Just wanted to highlight that because I really personally like that about Grace Company.
Yes, love that. And kind of speaking of being able to add things or change them out, this is our automation system. So Quilter's Creative Touch 6. This is something that you can buy right out the gate because you're like, hey, I'm ready to get into it. Or let's say you already have something, you're like, hey, I want to try a little bit different style of quilting. You can step into this as well. So you see, we actually have 3 different tiers. And then at the very end over on that right side when it says QCT 6 Gold, now that is a subscription base. You can get for specifically the pro version of that software. But again, all of that, including that gold card. So if you already have it, this is perfect because it hardly ever goes on sale to be able to get it at that 20% off.
Yeah. No, it's a really great product. And then if you're whether you're new to this or not, our free motion quilting starter kit allows you to get a really good start on practicing without having to go and use one of those, one of your quilts that you've been piecing together and you're worried, you're like, hey, maybe I want to try this out. I want to learn a few different techniques. Well, the starter kit guides you through that. It comes with the fabric that you need to put on your frame. So it has the backing, the batting, and the top fabric. And it's actually printed with guides to help you learn a few different techniques. And it comes with a workbook that also shows you how to follow along. This is another one, doesn't go on sale a lot because we don't really put our accessories on sale, but it is 20% off. So gift that to a friend, gift it to yourself if you're looking to get a little bit more experience with some of those techniques.
Yes. Ooh, and then we have our True Cut products. This is where we have them all 20% off. Now that literally means every single True Cut item. So that's from their cutting mats to the non-slip to rulers. You're like, hey, I have some, I just need some more blades. You're like, I want to try out the fun circle cutter. All of it is fantastic and can make a huge difference in your cutting experience and is all at that 20% off.
It's really great deals that we have, and that is kind of showing you all of them that we're offering. So you can go to graceframe.com to check it out. Local dealers are also running these, but we're super grateful to be able to help give back and give gifts through these discounts, and hopefully that's how it feels. We're trying to help you get the right product for you into your quilting journey. But speaking of giving, I wanted to highlight someone you're going to be hearing out today. Well, a group you're going to be hearing about today, and that is the I don't want to get their name wrong, but Wrap the World with Quilts. And they're a charity that's based on giving quilts to those in need. They started off as being, or when the war in Ukraine started, they started primarily giving there. But then they're like, you know what, let's grow this. And there's so many other people in need, and their charity just kept growing. So we're really excited to be able to help support them by offering you the chance to support them. You'll be able to see that. You can donate at hellocottons.com. And we, as Grace Company, do not collect a single dollar on that.
Right. Yeah, we are just here really to help facilitate and kind of connect you guys with some different charities. And this one actually is a little bit, unique. Justice talked about it a little bit earlier in this segment, but this is kind of our first market where it's just kind of this one-day event where we actually are going to be highlighting 3 different charities. So this first one, we're really excited to talk about. Again, it was that Wrap the World with Quilts, and you'll see that little bit segment later. I believe once that segment is taking place, there should be a link just under that will take you to that website. If not, again, I believe it was that hellocotton.com as well, where you can go to. Again, we don't take any of the money. It goes directly to them, and then they use it to help donate, of course.
Yeah, it was really fun being able to see, because they're actually local here, so a lot of our production crew that puts on these amazing events went down there, did some filming, and got to meet them, and it's just wonderful to be uplifted by people like that in your lives. And so, speaking of others and those that uplift, and I mentioned that Grace doesn't want to take all the credit for these amazing products. We actually, one thing with Winter Market is we want to expose you to other people who have great products for your craft as well. So we have a vendor hall. So hopefully
Yes.
this feels like a big holiday shopping party. I know it's online, not in person, but we've got this vendor hall, and maybe if we could pull it up, we can show you some of the vendors. They're going to have notions, they might have templates, and they're all going to be those accessories to what our products are and to help with your quilting. And you're going to get to see us playing some bingo there. So if you haven't, go check that out. But as we go through this, you see just a plethora. I believe we have over 20 vendors on here that do different things. You can see we have patchworking, woodworking, there's some quilting panographs, and a bunch of other people on there to really shop through and explore and find a good gift.
Yes, and again, this is where, hey, we're just trying to help really connect people, and it is a little bit different, but we know that, hey, even if you are a quilter, that doesn't mean you only do one type of quilting, right? There is many, many different ways and type of quilting out there, so these are also people who can help provide things for that, or some just fun things to be able to tie in, especially as we are in the holiday season. Maybe you can see something for a loved one and get it for them there as well.
Yeah, and I always like reminding people, because Grace Company trusts a lot of people, but some people are out there to get the best of you, and we've had a problem with some scammers recently.
Yes.
So I just want to warn you, as you reach out, try to verify and just know a few different things. We'll always reach out to you directly and privately. We use graceframe.com as our email address, and we will never ask for private information over email or social media.
Correct. Yes, I know there was one that went out. I want to say it was through social media, and so they're like, hey, give us your information. That's not us. That is not what we do at all. And I know the biggest thing, even for us here, when we get scam ones, is they'll use a different @ for the email. So they won't say the actual correct one. It'll be like really similar, but it'll be like FREME or something, right? So some of them are extremely smart out there, but just double check. And truly, if you ever have questions, call us, ask us, right? We're more than happy to help you. And we want to make sure you guys are being able to enjoy this and stay safe with us.
Yeah, it's really exciting. And while we're on the topic of how do you verify who's Grace, who's not, who's affiliated, I just want to remind you to follow us on our socials if you're not already there. We have a few different platforms we're on, and we'd love to give you the content in a few different ways. We have our Facebook, that's Grace Company Quilting. You can add us on Instagram at Grace Company Quilting. You can add us on TikTok at Grace Company, YouTube at The Grace Company, which you might be watching us right now, or on Pinterest at Grace Company Quilting. Not only do we have that, we also have our events platform, and we're implementing that to where you just come on, create a login with us, and you'll be able to sign up for these events and have a ton of fun. But try to follow us on there. One, you get good content, but two, you'll know who's us and who's not us.
Yes.
I think along with that, one more thing I want to highlight, because we do some advertising on Facebook and we have some in other areas. Just know if we're ever running an announcement to a winner, we're not going to announce that in our Facebook ads. So unfortunately, even though it'd be very exciting, we want to keep that as safe for those individuals who are opening up to us, allowing us to give them something and keep their information confidential. So just always know we'll be reaching out to you, or we'll ask you to reach out to us in a live event, and we won't announce those on Facebook ads in comments.
Yeah, absolutely. And kind of speaking of different things, if this is, I know there was a few in the comments when we first started, they're like, hey, I'm glad I didn't miss this, you know. Sometimes though you may have to step away. This is kind of, a day event, so if you have to step away for any reason, you will be able to go back through and watch this. And especially if you're like, hey, I'm just joining you for the first time, and you want to see some of the things we've done in the past, you can all find that on our Etched platform.
Yeah.
Wonderful videos, wonderful, helpful videos, not even just necessarily on things like this, but just educational videos as well that can be found there. So
you'll find that as you buy a product through us or want to learn something, you're going to find a lot of that information there, because we created a special site that allows you to have courses and classes on products. And as we put those out, we'll be building them into there. In your instruction manuals, as you get a product, you might notice that we have a QR code. Which is another thing you could comment to us on. How do you like QR codes? Do you hate them? Do you love them? I don't know, but we're linking them in there for you to be able to go to Etched and watch videos product specific. So how to set up my little Rebel. That's one we just recently posted, right? That we're getting this information out there on. And so it's very exciting.
Yes, and I know, again, we're really excited for all of what today is, but I do kind of want to go ahead and maybe we can do our first giveaway. Now, this is chosen from someone who has pre-registered, so we will do a live giveaway, and that's kind of why we have our cute little setup here, and so that's for those that are joining us here. Make sure to stay with us, get those fingers ready again, you know, make a comment, so we can have an opportunity to allow you to win. But this first one that we're going to be doing, again, is chosen from those that have pre-registered, and I believe we'll have 3 of those today. So one in this first segment, one in our midday live, and then one at our end of the day. And that will be a super fun one that we'll be able to do for you. But
we got to ask our question.
Well, no. First one we're doing again is our pre-registered giveaway. So this is the one we already know. It's the full-on anarchy that we're giving away.
Okay, I was thinking about this awesome little tree right here
excited.
That has all these, well, they're holiday ornaments with some giveaways that we can give to you. But yeah, let's talk about maybe what that giveaway is, that full-on anarchy system.
Yes. So you'll see it's not quite something you'll see on our website, but if you did join us or have kind of been watching us, and specifically the Little Rebel, it was a bundle we used to have where actually it was more than just the Little Rebel itself. So it came with a whole bunch of wonderful items. So it came with the Little Rebel itself, and it came with a merch pack. So that kind of included some stickers, a mug, a bag. It also came with a specific cutter that was a navy blue to match the cutter of the Little Rebel, or match the color of the Little Rebel. It came with a ruler, I want to say a 9x9 ruler, and some true grips. And it also comes free with the Cutie Breeze frame. Yeah, so it's a wonderful, again, we call it the full-on anarchy because you're going crazy, you want all of it. And that's kind of what we're doing for this pre-reg giveaway here.
And it's a great start to quilting, or if you just want something more portable, a lot of that's a very compact option. Like we said, the Little Rebel, it's really easy to take on and off of it. It's only 27 pounds, even though it has that 13 inches of throat space. And that Cutie tabletop frame is one that allows you to take it and put it on literally a lifetime table or a table that you have at home, as long as it's 2 foot by 4 foot.
Yes. Alrighty, well, let's go ahead and do our drum roll for this giveaway.
And it's
Woo!
Holly Dearman.
Congratulations.
Look at that, the full-on anarchy bundle.
Yes.
Now, I know we say on there it's valued at $4,999. That's not actually the full retail MSRP value, but it's a great value at which we were doing the when we were doing pre-registration, that's what we were selling it at. So congratulations, it's an awesome picture you have there that you're gonna be able to see all that you're getting, the mug and everything that Laurel said. So congratulations on winning that.
Yes, and again, just a reminder, this is kind of going back to that scammers thing, but because you did already pre-register with us, we do have your email, so we'll be reaching out to you. So again, keep an eye out. We are going to be reaching out to you. I believe Allegra right now is the one who helps handle that, so keep an eye out. So as soon as possible, we can help get you that amazing bundle.
Yeah, and maybe let's talk about now one of the things you're going to be watching. When we leave you and this live is done, you're going to start a Grace Carol. And this is the first of what we've tried to attempt to do that's a little bit like a play to make it a little bit more fun for you out there watching. So we're kind of trying to take and put a twist on the Christmas Carol and adapt that for Grace.
Yes, and it's a super fun one. I know we had an opportunity to kind of participate in what that was, and I know everyone else that did as well. It was super fun, and like Justice said, it was a little bit different than like what we've done before, but I know myself, and I'm super excited to be able to see the whole story come together.
Yeah, it's really awesome. And Terry, thank you for sharing. I'm practicing free motion quilting. I have a new cutie that I will set up next week. That's awesome. I love seeing those comments. So as you have them, I think other people get encouraged. One of the things we're finding as we talk to more and more customers is people love hearing experiences. People love knowing what others are going through so they can get the confidence. Too often we hear people, well, I ordered the cutie, but it's been in a box for 6 months. That's not what we want. We hope that all this community and support we're building you from Etch, from the communities that we have, our social platforms, that they're allowing you to feel empowered to go and spread that love of quilting, to overcome those barriers and do that thing that you love so much. And so we hope you feel that from us and that you continue to do that, and that today is really inspiring for you on that.
Yes, I know there's been a few comments, everyone, congratulating Holly on that. So thank you for those comments. I know it's wonderful to be able to see. And then I know a few people that are like, hey, I'm holding out for, that grand prize. I do want to encourage you guys, yes, please join us. If for some reason you have to step away, the pre-registration, again, is something that we will just reach out to you. So you don't necessarily have to be there. That being said, we are doing some live giveaways. So that's what we're actually going to go ahead and do before we kind of move into our next segment here. But it is a live giveaway, and we're going to choose 3 different winners. So get those fingers ready. You're going to need to, answer the question in the comment. And then we'll go ahead and choose off this wonderful tree, an ornament, and we'll kind of talk to you a little bit about what that prize is.
And those 3 winners, I might be wrong, but those 3 winners will be one from the Facebook platform, one from YouTube, and one's from events at graceframe.com. So we have a lot of different ways you can join us. I just want to clarify that. So it will be one from each of those events platforms.
Correct.
But let's ask our first question then.
Yes.
And that is, what is the name of the charity we first talked about?
Yes, we just talked about it a little bit ago. So again, we're looking for the name of it, the full name of that charity. And now again, it's a little different. We're going to actually be talking throughout all of today, 3 different charities, but as of now, we've only listed out 1. Okay, yeah, people are starting to get it. Yeah, while we're waiting, go ahead.
I'm going to pull one of these ornaments off and see. Whoever the winners are will be getting a rectangle ruler bundle and True Grip. So that's a very nice little bundle there. Can't read it, but it's a cute ornament. That's adorable. I'll have to put that on the tree later. Yeah, it's a really awesome bundle. Do we have any images we can put up on that to show them by chance?
Well, I do know, if not on the rectangular ruler bundle, that's a little bit of a mouthful. It starts from the smallest one being a 3x18. So again, that's kind of the skinniest one. And then the next size we have is a 6.5 by 12.5. And then the largest size being that 6.5 by 24. Now, really, every single one of those can be used in different circumstances and is just a fantastic bundle to get. And I love that it comes with True Grips. True Grips make a huge difference in your cutting experience.
They're one of my favorite things to show people because just how well the ruler sticks to the fabric as you're trying to cut and not have it move is awesome. And I love that people get excited because by now I think a lot of people have had these and they also know the joy of having those True Grips.
Yes.
So let's see if we're almost ready to give away our first.
I think so. I think we've given everyone a chance. If you haven't, quickly do it. Again, the question one more time is, what was the name of this charity we first talked about in this segment here?
A lot of good answers there.
Yes.
All right. The first winner is Teresa Erickson. Wrap the World with Quilts. Congratulations. And she's winning that on the YouTube platform. So let's pull up one more to give away on the Facebook one. And we have Amy. Congratulations. Wrap the World with Quilts. Go ahead and reach out to us. And that was Allegra, you said?
Yes. So this is a little bit different than the pre-registration. So on this one, because it is chosen live, we don't quite have your email. So you need to reach out to us. We do take note. We do, again, we need to make sure we get the information from you. So you need to reach out to Allegra at graceframe.com. So ALLEGRA and then at graceframe.com. She is wonderful. She tries to get them out as soon as possible, but that is what we'll be doing for the giveaway. And I think we actually are going to change it up a little bit, where we're going to draw a new one for the different person.
All right. And this other prize that we're going to be giving away is a triangle ruler bundle and True Grips.
Nice.
So whoever wins on the events platform is actually going to get this. So we're swapping up the giveaway there. I apologize. I wasn't fully aware how we were running that. But the triangle ruler bundle is much like that. It comes with those 3 different sizes and the True Grips.
Yes, you can see them there. There's a 90 degree, a kite, and then I also want to say, I'm going to forget right now, and then I'm going to say a 60.
Yeah.
And then, so congratulations,
congratulations
from the platform.
Peggy,
Woo!
on the Grace platform. So joining us through events at graceframe.com. And do we think, do we have time to squeeze in one more winner, do you think?
Okay, we'll do it quick.
All right, because I know we only have like a minute and a half. Do we want to ask a new question? Do we want to just draw one maybe?
No.
All right, we're going to draw another. We're going to draw another ornament and just give one more live away.
So really quick then, before we do this, so again, if you still have an opportunity to win it, it's what is the name of the charity we just talked about. Now, we did pop it up on the screen, but again, that's the answer we're looking for here.
And this will be a random winner. Milo, you get to decide.
Just random from any of them.
And we're going to be giving away a 4-pack of solid thread.
Nice. I love that. So it's really nice as well because the 4-pack comes with some of the most common colors that people are using. So you can see there's a little bit of kind of a off-whitish, bright white, kind of tannish color, and then a little bit of a pearly color there.
And that'll be awesome. And Carol, congratulations. You're going to be the winner of that. And that will be our
Congratulations.
last live giveaway, I think.
Yes, and again, just a reminder for everybody that won that live giveaway, you do need to reach out to us. Again, it's allegra@graceframe.com, so ALLEGRA at graceframe.com, so we can be sure to get you your prize as soon as possible.
Yeah.
But thank you everybody for joining us. I think this first segment we're going to go into, again, is a little bit Justice talked about, the first part of a Grace Carol.
It's going to be really nice. And I just really quick, I ask you to keep tuning in. Go ahead and put it on. I know we got 3-4 hours here. Enjoy it throughout the day. Watch as many segments as you can and engage with us, however. And thank you so much for being here with us today. I had a good time inviting you in, and we hope you enjoy the rest of the day.
Take care.
How does everything look?
What's wrong with the setup?
It's too good of a deal. How are we supposed to get every last cent of our customers if we keep selling such spectacular products at low cost?
Well, our customers deserve a wonderful experience that they don't have to pay an arm and a leg
We are not a
for.
charity. We're here to make money. And if we keep selling like this, we'll be broke before next Christmas. If you're going to sell these products at these prices, you're going to sell twice as many. Good luck.
Before we start, Justice and I were wondering if we could take a few days off for the holidays, spend some time with our family.
Let's see how much you sell first.
It's gonna be okay.
I think we got this.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. I'm Justice,
And I'm Laurel.
and we're the Daniels.
Yes, and we're super excited today to give you a little bit of some insight on the Little Rebel machine. We are going to show it off quilting, but on the new Cutie Breeze frame.
And that's really exciting. And we're going to share a little bit about that, like LJ said, starting out on the quilting side. Maybe you could kick us off with some of the features it comes with.
Yes, so first off, a few things to just point out is this one you will see, since we have it on a frame and we are going to be doing quilting with it, we do have a standard hopping foot on the machine. Now it is very unique because it is a straight stitch sewing machine and a quilting machine. So with that, it actually comes with a couple different feet, right, Justice?
It does. You're going to be able to change it all over to your sewing foot when you need to. All you have to do is unscrew the thumb screw, pull it out, take the plate off, put the other one back on, put your sewing foot on, and you're good to go. A lot of people ask, is this top carriage part of the Little Rebel?
So a little bit of a trick question. So it's not necessarily part of the Little Rebel, but it is a part of the Cutie Breeze frame. So now with this package that we are giving away and that you can get, if you purchase the Cutie Breeze frame, then yes, those handles would be included with it. Another thing or another item we often get questions on as well though, is actually this specific little controller. Because it sits on the handles, sometimes people are like, okay, well then is that something that is again specific with the frame? That controller is not something necessarily that comes with the frame, it does come with the machine. So whether you're like, hey, right off the bat, I'm just gonna be sewing with it, but at any point, if you did decide to move over to frame quilting, you will already have that control with you. So
Right. And we really designed the Little Rebel to be an ideal quilting setup, right?
Yes.
You can do your sewing, but what I mean by that is we've got our thread cutter right here in the front. Now it's not an automatic thread cutter. I know a lot of people are curious about that, but it still works really great. And then from there, we have the features on the head of the machine, so it's really easy for your start, stop, your needle up and down. Sit down, you've got your reverse stitch for when you're sewing. Then you have your thread tensioner. You can go up into your quilting mode, set it regulated or not, because this machine's actually stitch regulated, and that's pretty cool.
is.
Maybe you could highlight that for us.
yes, so it's actually very unique in that it is a built-in feature. So even with other long arms, typically it's kind of a separate component that helps give that machine those consistent stitches. With this, again, fully built in. So again, it's gonna give you those beautiful consistent stitches all the time.
Yeah, and it's going to be very precise because we've got a powerful 1,600 stitches per minute capability in here, and that's dictated by the motor. A lot of people are going to love that because you can get through those thicker fabrics, and you're going to get a bit more precision out of your optical encoder there, which is a new technology for Grace Company. We traditionally have wheel encoders. This one is optical encoder. But maybe as we continue down the machine, talking about what features it has, we can highlight it has easy accessibility to your stitch speed and your stitch length. So if you're a person who loves manual mode, you get full control over what you're doing.
Absolutely. Kind of moving back here as well, this is probably one of my favorite features on it, is it does have a built-in bobbin winder. Now this machine actually runs with 2 different motors in it, so one that helps run the machine itself. The other is attached to the bobbin winders. A lot of machines out there, you have to have a separate bobbin winder, or it's just not built in, or hey, if you're doing it, you have to completely unthread your machine to do that. With this, you can see there's 2 thread stands, 2 cone stands, so you can actually have it threaded back here and again, wind a bobbin and be stitching if you want, because there are 2 motors in there for it. So I absolutely love that. And it's also unique that it kind of has a sensor where if you want, you do not have to fill a full bobbin. So let's say you're at the end of your quilt, you're like, hey, I just have a little bit of space left. I don't need a full bobbin because I'm going to switch colors after this. You can change it and adjust which depth you want it to wind to. Super easy thing to do. But again, it's wonderful that that bobbin winder does come built into the machine.
Yeah, and you talked about on-the-go portability. I just wanted to go back and highlight really fast. It's a 27-pound machine. So it's really easy to take on and off, and you get that 13-inch throat space in a 27-pound machine is really impressive. Now, not just the throat space you want to highlight, so that's 13 inches. You actually have 8.5 inches of height. So that's really important when you're starting your quilting frame journey, or even if you're sit-down free motion quilting. But on your frame journey, you're going to notice a couple different styles. We have a hoop frame here. Some frames have an idler bar that can go up in there. And the higher your throat, the more capability you're going to have on expanding that machine size.
Yes. Some other features of the machine is when I was talking about the bobbin, it actually takes a larger bobbin. So what fits in long arm and mid arm machines, which is nice. Again, just a little bit longer, you're able to sew without having to stop and take the time to wind that bobbin.
The domestic machines typically have a bobbin that holds about half as much thread. So you're getting a lot of those domestic abilities in a long arm quilting machine. That's not the only thing. We're not gonna stop there. We got so much more. You actually have lights everywhere on this machine because you want clear visibility on your quilting space, your patterns, and what you're doing. So we actually have 13 inches of throat lights here. We have our needle lights. And you won't be able to see it, but down under where you take your bobbin out, there's actually a bobbin light, so you're able to get in and out of there as well.
Yes, be able to see it. And it is actually a front loading bobbin. Now, for some of you that maybe aren't quite as familiar, most domestic machines, the bobbin sits just on top. So right under kind of where your needle goes up and down. With this one, it is a front loading. So you don't necessarily have to completely undo your fabric. You can lift it up and access that extremely easy. So wonderful, easy access to that bobbin area.
And along with getting started and having all these great features, we actually help you along the way with getting familiar to your machine. Recently at Houston, a lot of ladies were coming up to me, a lot of quilters in general were coming up and saying like, oh, how do I thread it? I'm always worried about getting the right tension. Well, we've actually pad printed, so we've got these designs on the top of your machine that show you step by step how to take that thread and get proper threading through there. And so it helps really when you're troubleshooting, do I have a tension problem? Is my thread not right? So why is it breaking all the time? So really great feature. And maybe we could highlight a bit more about the frame, because I know some people might know about the Cutie, but this is the Cutie Breeze.
Yes, a little bit different. So you will notice if you kind of stick with us, it is extremely similar to that older Cutie frame. With it, there is fewer steps in the assembly process of the new Cutie Breeze frame. And then one of the most noticeable differences is what Justice pointed out here in the back. So with the older Cutie, it was actually bungee straps that would come up and over the top and that would then latch onto these back clips. With these, it's just easier. You don't have to worry about accidentally maybe sewing that bungee in there. I know a few people have had to do that and unpick it. And then another big thing that you'll see is that these handles do come up and over the top. With the older Cutie, they sat down below. Kind of just changed it up and actually added some features into it with it coming up and over. One feature that's nice with it is that because the handles don't sit below, you actually do not have to roll up this front fabric. So again, kind of just a less step you have to do as well. But then even within this, again, there's some specific features. Now right here, and actually on both sides here, there is a magnet so you can put your pins in there. And there is different inserts here depending on the size bobbin you're using. So this frame, you can use it with other domestic machines. So there's different inserts depending on the size bobbin you're going to use. And then the last thing, and it's on both sides as well, but it's actually a scissor holder here for you.
Built-in features like that, because we're trying to think about what gets you through the whole process, and we know we're going to have a lot of people really wanting this. Maybe I could highlight too, you do get 3 more inches of space here. It does fit on a normal 2-foot by 4-foot table, and we actually simplified the process of, like you said, putting this top bar on. All you have to do is take a thumb screw out and your bar comes right on out. Now, I think all those things are amazing, super cool, but that's not all the Little Rebel can do. We actually have a few things that come with the Little Rebel to set you up for sewing and quilting, or sewing and quilting sit down, that I kind of want to highlight. Right here, I'm going to show you the first thing. We talked about the stitch controller, but it comes with a foot pedal, so you're able to do all that sewing. Now, obviously on a frame, we designed it so you don't need that, so you get a little bit more control. What else do you need when you're sitting down? Well, I just did want to show you that we actually have the sewing feet. You get 4 different feet that come in there, and the sewing presser foot. And kind of the last thing that's more on the quilting side, so if you have your quilting foot on, we've got a big 18 by 24 quilting base extension that comes in here. Now, LJ, you highlighted that we have a front-loaded bobbin, which some people might be like, how am I going to use a quilting base extension and use a front-loaded bobbin? Well, you just pick it right on up and get your hand in there, and you're actually able to get your bobbin in and out, and it comes easily on and off just with the pull of a trigger right there.
That's awesome. And again, it's wonderful. I do just want to again remind everybody the features that Justice just showed there. So that 18 by 24 table, the foot pedal, I was going to say presser foot, and then those other presser feet and this quilting hopping foot all come with it. It actually comes with an even cute tiny little panel just for you to get started and feel comfortable with, you know, whether it's, hey, I'm going to start sewing, I'm going to start quilting, whatever it is. So it is a full package with the Little Rebel that's going to help you get started right off the bat. Now, another thing I do want to just mention a little bit. So it'll be the Little Rebel with the new Cutie Breeze frame, but also the QCT6. Now, I've had an opportunity to use it a little bit, and I love it. Biggest thing to keep in mind is that with all our automation systems, the tablet is a separate component. So everything else you need, including the tablet mount, does come with it. But again, the tablet itself is separate.
And just to highlight on that, because I'm super excited about it, and we heard so much good feedback in Houston Festival, and as we've been selling it in the market, it literally guides you step by step. Some people are intimidated by automation, and we heard that. So we built a product that just takes you step by step on the screen to get successful edge-to-edge patterns like Laura was saying. So I just really want to reiterate that. Obviously, we have a lot of good information on the website about that and what's going on.
Maybe only other thing just to kind of mention, because it's standard on domestic machines, is that you do have a lever to raise and lower that presser foot, so that again, when you are doing the sewing aspect of it, and you could say even quilting if you want to get that fabric underneath, you do have that lever that's included with it.
Now, obviously the whole bundle by itself, that's one price, but I did want to highlight real fast, it's a 13-inch machine, 8.5 inches high, 1,600 stitches per minute. This machine is selling right now for only $26.99. So just to show you the price and the value of that, that's really amazing. Our 16X starts at $4,500. So you can see the price difference of, and that's really the lowest price, probably the highest value of entering into the market. So you can see the price difference of what we're trying to do to get people that versatile machine, get them into their quilting hobby and having a good time.
Yes, but thank you everybody for joining us. Again, this was the Little Rebel on the new Cutie Breeze frame. And again, the deal we'll be doing though is also including that QCT6 edge to edge. I'm Laurel Daniels.
And I'm Justice, and we'll see you around.
Thank you.
You did a wonderful job. Don't you think so, Mr. McScrooge?
Yeah, fine. It was okay. You could have sold more if you tried harder.
You got to be careful. The spirits of grace will come and teach you a lesson. Is your back okay? Maybe you should sit down for once.
It's sore from carrying this whole company. Maybe I will sit down for a minute.
Hi, I'm Gina. This is my husband, Hal Halliday.
Hello.
And we are co-founders of Wrap the World with Quilts. And we founded it with my good buddy, Beth, who's in Tucson.
Hi, I'm the other half.
This is the story of how we accidentally started a charity called Wrap the World with Quilts. And it was all because of Hal.
Well, part of it. I was riding my bike through Western Ukraine into Poland in August of 2021, about 6 months before Russia invaded Ukraine. And I made some business relationships there. And when Russia did invade Ukraine, the people I'd worked with started leaving as refugees. And one in particular, Natalia, shared a picture of her children at the border. And we were struck by the lack of luggage, supplies. What they just had was maybe a 1 or 2 days change of clothes. And who knows how long they would be gone. They were leaving their fathers, their brother, their husbands behind. And it really touched us. And we, even though there were millions of these refugees, we wondered how we could help Natalia, my friend, this one person and her children. And we started talking about quilts because that's been a big part of our lives.
Yeah, we were on a Zoom call with Natalia, and Hal said, we'd love to give you something. My wife's a quilt maker. Could we give you a quilt? And she just had tears in her eyes and was really in awe that an American would even know what was happening in Ukraine, that an American would make them a handmade gift. And so I talked with Beth, and she said, yep, let's do something.
Yeah, it didn't take long before we realized that we had not only just the two of us, but lots of friends in the quilting world. And we thought maybe we could get 50 quilts or 100 quilts to send over to Natalia and some of those other women and their kids.
We put it out on our social media, Beth and I's social media, and the very next day, I had quilts on my front porch, and every single day for the last over a year and a half, we've received quilt donations to help Ukrainian refugees, and that's been amazing. Being in the quilting industry, we know that quilters are givers, and so it was a great opportunity for people to dig out a quilt or make a quilt specifically to give to a refugee. Because you think about the person that you're making a quilt for. With every stitch that you take, you're thinking about, you know, maybe what they're going through, and we've just been so pleased with the response that we've had. We thought we were going to get a few hundred, and in the last year and a half, we've had over 37,000 quilts donated to Ukrainian refugees who have fled the country, and also those who have stayed in the country. We've also sent quilts to Afghanistan and Turkey and Syria when they had earthquakes, and also to the fire victims of Maui. Beth and I thought we were going to be retired grandma ladies, and we started this charity, and it's become almost a full-time job for both of us.
From the very beginning, this was a very human connection, and we wanted that to remain. So we have the ability for a quilt maker to register their quilt and print out just a page that they can attach to their quilt and send to us. And then when that refugee receives the quilt, they can scan it, find out who made the quilt, and send a message back to that quilt maker.
Yeah, I would say that the QR code and the ability for the person who received the quilt to express gratitude and make a connection to the quilt maker has been very important for the continuity and the momentum we've had of people wanting to make more quilts.
We received these amazing messages back of thank you for caring about us. Our quilts got to some soldiers that were on the front lines fighting. We have this really amazing picture of the soldier kind of leaning back on a hot pink quilt, and he just said their whole squadron all received quilts, and they were just very moved by the brightness of it and that somebody cared about them. And we know that a quilt gives you warmth, but really what a quilt does is says, I see you, I care about you. And that they were motivated to get back to their families and give these quilts to their kids. We've set up 5 sewing centers in Ukraine and 3 sewing centers in Poland.
The sewing centers specifically are helping with PTSD and helping people feel better emotionally. What the refugees said was, this is where I go for peace. This is where I go to forget about all the trouble, all the struggle, all the suffering that my family and I and country are experiencing. We've learned the power of gratitude. We've learned the power of well-being and what quilting and quilts can do for people who are suffering, and that's really what we're committed to now.
I think one thing that we realized right at the beginning is they're just like us. Language barrier, little differences fall by the wayside. We found people that were warm and loving and friendly and just in a position that was out of their control, and the ability for us to just touch them for a moment or a day was really profound, I think, for each one of us.
Yeah, we met these women who, if you can imagine, they were probably going to soccer games and getting their nails done and going to lunch with their girlfriends and working in IT companies or whatever, when a bomb explodes their apartment, or they have missiles that fly through the air and they have sirens that go on and they have to run down to a bomb shelter, and the stress that creates in their life for their children and for them. And so many of these women that we met fled with whatever they could put in a backpack or a stroller with a couple of kids, and they're fleeing to a country where they don't know the food, they don't know the language, they don't know anybody in this country, and most of the women that we met were in an old hotel that they transformed make it into a refugee center. And they desperately want to get back to Ukraine because their husbands, fathers, brothers are still there. But there's nothing to go home to oftentimes. And so it was just an amazing experience to meet these women and how strong that they were, but also they were in this horrible situation. And we with Google Translate on our phone, we were having conversations with them. We were laughing with them. When they make an item, they would hold it up and we would all cheer. And we were just girls sewing together. And that was a really, really awesome experience.
1 or 2 days before the invasion, I was talking to 2 colleagues that were living in Lviv, Ukraine, in this business relationship I had, and I asked them what their plan was. And I had no basis or to understand what it meant to have an imminent invasion in your country. And what I was so surprised by is how very quickly they said, we will fight for our freedom and our democracy. We want an independent country that is free from, intervention and interference. And that blew me away. And then of course the next day the war was on. But I just was really struck by how much they loved their country and how much they wanted to preserve what they'd fought for to that point. And they're very inspiring. I think all of these refugees are strong. Many speak several languages. They're just doing the best they can. And I think they are much like us. And we had someone ask us once, a Ukrainian asked us if we'd ever thought this could happen to us, if we'd ever felt like we would go hungry or not have enough to eat. And, those were things we'd never once thought about, and they think about it all the time, and not just in the past year and a half. It's part of their life.
Yeah, we met a woman at the sewing workshop who she had a sewing business in Ukraine, tailoring clothes and making prom dresses and wedding dresses, and she had a staff and she had sewing machines, and her business got blown up. And she fled to Poland, and she came to one of our workshops, and she's sitting there sewing a simple item, and she just had tears streaming down her eyes because she was so happy to be sewing again. And we instantly decided that she could take one of these machines home with her. And she wrote us the most heartfelt thank you note, saying that this gift of the sewing machine gave her incentive to continue to live. And a $300 sewing machine is pretty powerful. And the gratitude that the people that we give these quilts to is they were very thankful for the gifts. And we also have been really surprised at the gratitude that people have shown for the people who are giving us quilts. And they said, thank you for setting up an organization that we trust, and we know because of the QR code we can see where our quilt is going, that we can use our talents to give a quilt that we made, and we know it's going to go to someone who needs it. So we've had gratitude from both sides, from the givers and from the receivers, and that's been very rewarding.
We took 2 trips to Poland. I just feel like we have so many friends in Poland now after being there, and not just meeting refugees, but meeting the people who are helping refugees. So many times we've crossed paths with someone that has been really just random and a coincidence or a miracle, and then later they just become such an integral part of what we do and what we can form together to do. So it's really been it sounds kind of cliche, but a literal patchwork of a plan and a program and a charity that has involved so many people, Americans, Polish people, other refugees, everybody helping one another, and so many stories. The folks that came along with us on the humanitarian trip have remained involved. Some of them that live local are volunteers. They come in every week and help, and it just has grown. At the beginning, when Gina said we accidentally founded a charity, that's so true, but it seems just like it was perfectly put together. We don't always know what we're doing, but things work out because there's so many good-hearted people involved.
Each week we get between 200 and 800 quilts delivered to us. We have a partnership with another charity called the Give Back Box, and they partner with UPS, and so people are able to ship us quilts up to 50 pounds for only $20. We've received quilts from all 50 states and 6 other countries. So we go to UPS at least once a day, most of the time twice a day, to receive all these quilts, as well as they drop them off on our porch. But these quilts, we process them, we scan them, and then we get them to our charity partner called Lifting Hands International. They happen to have locations throughout the world. They have one location in the United States, just happens to be 5 miles from this spot right here, which is another one of those coincidental miracles that we've experienced, where they needed between 2,000 and 3,000 quilts on every cargo container that they were sending, and they could not get those. They were getting a couple hundred on each cargo container. So we've been able to fulfill their need. Quilts and blankets was one of their top priorities of humanitarian aid that they were sending. So that partnership is a beautiful melt of location-wise, very logistically convenient for us, but they have people boots on the ground that receive the goods and then get them to people in need, whether that's at an orphanage or a bomb shelter or a hospital or wherever that the these people need. They get them into the areas like Donetsk, who was hit first and very hard. They're one of the closest cities to Russia. They haven't had electricity and running water and regular food for about a year and a half. And our quilts are in there, and we have some amazing photos of our quilts getting there, and they send us a note back because of that QR code. Our cargo containers go to Ukraine about every month, and then when people register their quilts, they can specifically say they want it to go to Ukraine or wherever is needed most. So if another disaster happens, like Maui, we're able to pivot and to send quilts and blankets to another spot that has a disaster or a war happening, or including in the U.S.
So we've been able to find a partner that, for a very low cost, gets quilts right to the front lines where people are suffering and need them the most. And through this give back box, we're able to help people get quilts to us. We've created the cause, and we're inviting people to that, and the QR code helps people feel comfortable knowing that they can see that they are going to where we say they are going, and that's been a real part of it. So we're kind of in the middle, but I think we've really rallied the quilting world to do something with the quilts that they have and they want to make, to get them to provide comfort and love for people that are suffering around the world. And these two ladies started with the name of the very quickly found the name Wrap Ukraine with Quilts, but at the same day or same moment also registered
Wrap the World with Quilts. Of course, we're thinking that maybe the war in Ukraine would be done in a month or two. So we actually registered Wrap the World with Quilts. We're a 501c3 charity. And so that's our official name, but initially we started off just helping Ukraine, but we've been able to pivot to wherever people need quilts.
We probably have delivered about 5,000 to 6,000 quilts personally on our trips to Poland. And kind of a grassroots effort with people that we've met there and other networks and people that we've taken over there. And so we've been fortunate to be able to experience just what that is like to wrap someone in a quilt. And that's, I think, one of the things that keeps us going.
We have a really great photo. Beth and I went to a bus station in Warsaw as people were coming in, and they had a little refugee center set up where people can charge their phone, get something to eat, and just kind of regroup for a day or two. And this woman walked in, and she had two little toddlers with her, and she'd traveled about 50 hours straight to escape the bombing in Ukraine. And she walked into this refugee center with these two little kids, and another mom grabbed her kids and got them some food. And she, if you can imagine, was just exhausted after traveling for so long. There's really one main highway heading west out of Ukraine, and the lineup of people was just huge. And so she didn't stop to sleep, she just kept traveling. And she gets to this refugee center, and we had quilts with us, and we just put this quilt over her, and she looked up at us and just had tears in her eyes. And we looked at each other and said, this is the moment where we knew that one quilt wrapped around one person, she knew that somebody cared about her in that moment. And those kinds of things have happened many, many, many times. But I think that's the motivation for us to keep helping people, and we're trying to wrap the world with quilts.
It's really hard to put into words how this has changed just my outlook on the world. And I've always loved to travel, but just to be able to connect with other people that are on the other side of the world also helping, people within our communities that are helping. I mean, I'm just blown away by the amount that people are willing to give. Some of the quilts that have passed through our hands have been amazing. Just the most beautiful artistry and handwork, and they're just so ready to gift those to someone, a stranger. And so it really just makes you feel good about humanity. I mean, the world right now is a crazy place, and I don't know how many times, even just the last couple weeks, I've been traveling kind of on behalf of our charity, but I've said so many times that people are good, that just overwhelmingly, this is a good world, and people are ready to help their fellow humans. And that's a good message that we don't always hear. So that's been important. And then just the ability to kind of open yourself up and do something not that you had planned, something that's different than what you maybe would have designed for yourself. But what comes back to you is just so much bigger than what you could have planned for yourself too. So I think that's what it's been for us, is just we've been open to the process. We have pivoted several times, and we have made changes as we've gone along. And it's just opened up so much more than we could have ever imagined had we mapped it all out.
You think that the world is so big. I never would have thought that I would have friends in Poland and friends in Ukraine and had Ukrainians over to my house for dinner. The world got smaller. We are more aware of what's happening in the world and the hardships that other people have. Just the day-to-day. We are very sheltered here in the United States, and we have the luxury of living the life that we want to live. And the reality of that in meeting these people, it's not their reality right now. And, you know, we try to take the politics and the religion out of it and just see it as humans helping humans in this difficult time.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I don't think there'll be a time soon where people won't need love, care, comfort from someone that might be far away, right? So we want to keep doing this, and we know that all quilters do, because we have consistently received the donations that have confirmed that for us.
As quilters, you know, making a quilt for someone, if you wanted to help us, you could send a quilt to us. But also, get together with your girlfriends, get together with your guild, get together with your church friends, and do something for charity. We've had businesses that have said, what can we do? And so they buy fleece and they cut and make fleece blankets. So it's a no-sew kind of blanket. We've had CEOs on the ground tying fleece blankets together, just to make something to give to us that we can then give to refugees. And so I think see what motivates you. Starting a charity would be great. We didn't know what we were doing, but we were trying to figure it out. If we can help you, we'd love to help you. If you want to help us, we'd take your help as well. We raise money to buy these sewing machines. We buy them in Poland and Ukraine, just because the electricity is the same and warranty and everything. And for about $300, we can buy a sewing machine and the basic sewing supplies, a cutting board and a rotary cutter and scissors and stuff like that. And so surprised at how much a $300 machine can make the difference in somebody's life. And so we've gone from collecting quilts, which we thought we were going to get 200, to having 45 tons of them, to also doing these humanitarian trips and then setting up these sewing centers. And so I guess be open to the flow of the process, because it might not be exactly what you set out to do, but things happen and you have to be able to adjust and pivot to those.
You know, I think from the very beginning, our intent was just to send some quilts over to Ukraine and be done with it in a week or two. But we also realized really quickly that there were other people that wanted to help. We kind of adopted Rosie the Riveter, the "We Can Do It" as our logo and our motto. And that "we can do it," most of the time we weren't sure if we could, but we figured we'd find out a way. So we didn't really always have the confidence or the know-how to do something, but we knew we could figure it out or find people who knew what to do. So I think just that little bit of drive and a little bit of a little bit of confidence, even though it was maybe a little
Overconfident.
overstated. Overconfidence. But I think a lot of charities are founded that way. There's not a huge business plan like there might be for a business for profit kind of situation. But really the true charity comes out of just wanting to help one person, and then that just grows and grows. And so you kind of have to develop a business plan as you go. And sometimes things that are good just take on a life of their own. So as far as giving advice to someone who wanted to help someone, just help one person. See where it goes. If it feels good, keep going. Really just the people that have rallied around us and have sent us quilts and kept going. Like, we can't stop because they're not stopping. So it really just kind of grows at this astronomical rate because there's so many good people out there that want to help.
I would say that we didn't set out with a plan. We set out to help someone, and soon other people wanted to help others. And that's what created momentum for us. Our hope was a couple hundred quilts, we never thought 10,000. In fact, our website only went up to 1,000 when we were counting them on the website. So then we had to change it to do, 10,000.
Yeah.
And
We needed a comma.
Yeah.
We had to have our
just-
web guy add a comma to it.
we didn't set out to do something big. We set out to do something small, but it was authentic and it was real, and people could see that it was good, and they wanted to join. And we've just seen people help us. And the things we couldn't do or figure out or even imagine came from the people who wanted to help us. The QR code was not our idea. It was somebody else's suggestion, and it came at the very early on, and it has made such a difference. So doing good attracts good. I think that's what Beth is saying, and I agree. That is what has really created something so much bigger than we ever would have dreamed of.
Also, I think sometimes there's stumbling blocks that stop you for a minute. For example, our first box of quilts that we went to send, we had about 50 pounds of quilts, which was about 30 quilts that we wanted to send to Poland, and we took it down to UPS, and it was $1,800. We knew right then that that business model was not going to work for us, that we would not be able to send quilts that way. And so then that caused us to look and find another charity that was sending aid over and to partner with them. And so some of those stumbling blocks we've had to figure out, okay, that's not going to work. Let's go to plan B or plan C, when plan B and plan C were much better than our own plan. We are just so grateful for the opportunity to serve others, and we are so grateful to everyone who's donated to help us change the lives of other people. And the messages that we've gotten back from the QR code, we know that we're making a difference, and that's just really awesome.
Mark, Mark.
Carla? What are you doing back here? I wasn't sleeping. I was just concentrating on making more money.
Oh, Mark, I'm not Carla. I'm the spirit of grace past. I've come to take you on a journey. Your heart has grown cold and greedy. And you know, that's not what grace is all about.
I'm not greedy. I just like making money. Somebody's got to be thinking about it.
Oh, Mark, of course money is a necessity, but it isn't the most important thing. And you used to know that. My mother, the original Grace, was a caring woman who wanted others to love quilting as much as she did. And my brother created the company to spread the message of passion and joy.
Your brother? Your mother? I thought you said you weren't Carla.
Oh, Mark. Come on, Mark. Look how much fun we were having.
We? Are you or are you not Carla?
Shh. Look.
Hi, Carla. How are you doing today?
Mark, hi. How are you? Are you ready for today?
I'm so ready
All
for the
right.
demonstration. And you know, before we get started, Carla, I just want to say how important connecting people with their passions is.
Oh,
that is
for
just like
sure.
the most important thing. Money, I've never cared about it.
No. You guys, this brings us so much joy to bring you this. We are going to bring True Cut.
So what do we want to go over first here? Because there's like so many awesome things to choose from here.
Well,
it's just hard to pick.
It
You know,
is.
one thing, a comfort cutter. I don't know where that went. Do you?
Ooh, our new comfort cutter.
Ah, here it is. I found it. All right. So the first thing that we're going to go over today is our awesome comfort cutter.
So everyone knows your standard rotary blade cutter. It's straight, it cuts, it's round, but I have been cutting all day long, and my wrist is killing me because it has just been straight all day long.
Well, I just have the perfect solution for you. Our comfort cutter, it is ergonomic and it does look a little bit weird, but it's great because this allows you to use the pressure of your palm and you're right over it for cutting. So that way we're no longer with this one where your fingers getting all bent here, and you know that, like you're saying, your wrist, Carla, that's been like, you know, all day long when we're cutting. And also, why don't you point out the other awesome thing about True Cut, which is the guide. That is really
Yes. Okay. So the comfort cutter has a guide here. So when you first get it, it will come with a guide. It also comes with just a normal cap if you're not going to use our rulers. But guys, our rulers have a lip, an edge on both sides. And that is so you can take advantage of this nice gap right here. It fits right on. So when I'm cutting, I can make a perfectly straight line. Look at that, straight, nice cut. Now, Mark, why is this ruler staying on my material so tight?
That is because our True Grips, and Carla, it doesn't look like we actually have any on here, but let me show you what those are like. So these are our True Grips right here, and they are little stickies. I'm actually just gonna open this up right here. So I'm just gonna get this one open and we'll put one on just to show. So there's these little circles and it comes with 15 of each one, and there's the little ones and also the bigger ones, but these are just little stickers on here that you just peel right off, and these actually come with the perfect spots to put those in. There's little circles so we know exactly where to put those. And in that little spot right there, you can see that it's really hard, and you can see this kind of rotates around it. So if you have this all over your ruler, it sticks a lot better. And that's really good because if we're also have this attached to the fabric comes with it. So that way, then when you slip, you know, the fabric isn't slipping, you're not gonna have, you know, you get it cut once and you don't waste your fabric.
So why do we have these holes in here? Why do I need those for?
You know, that is a great question. So one thing that we can use them for is they're on every 1/4 inch. So that means that we can mark with a pencil or pen in the 1/4 inch. And it's also the material that it's made out of is much more flexible and durable. It's not going to chip. And so that's part of the manufacturing process. So it's really great and really resistant. So also something else that we want to talk about as well is, you know, this ruler that we have is really awesome, but every single ruler that we have, Carla, every single one has the edges on there. So we have all sorts of different shapes and sizes on our website, and There's like a longer, like a 3x18. There's even triangles, all sorts of fun.
Kite?
I know.
Can I get a kite?
You can get a kite one. So, we did dig on the straight cutter a little bit, but something that is awesome about our straight cutters is that they are quick release. So look at this, just like that.
Wait, my blade didn't fall off and roll on the ground.
So that's because it also has a magnet. So, you can just put that right up on there and then put that right back in. Look at that.
Perfect. I love that.
And also, okay, a question I get, and I know you know the answer to this, is can I use other brand blades with our cutters?
Yes. So you can use other type of blades. Of course, you want to make sure, if you can see, there's these 3 little notches right here. You do want to make sure that your blades have that for it to work.
So anything with that tri-wing blade design will work, but our blades are the SK steel and they're really great in quality, so they'll last you a long time. And now,
what do I do when my blade gets dull?
Now that's a great question. I was about to say, we have 2 other things on the table here, Carla, that are for sharpening blades. So that way you can use it at least one more time. You get twice out of 1 blade. So this one has a stone on one side, and so what you'll do is you'll take this, I'm not actually going to run it through, but you go back and forth, and you can keep it on here, and you don't actually even have to take the blade out at all. You can just leave it in and go back and forth, and what you can actually do is hone it at the same time.
Turn it around.
So
okay.
As you're cutting, as you cut some, you don't have to wait until your blade gets dull to sharpen it, because it's so easy, because it's just on the table. You can just sharpen it a little bit and keep going on. Now tell me about our electric sharpener, Carla.
Oh, so the electric sharpener. So all you have to do with this one is open it up. It's got a diamond blade on one side, diamond blade on the other side. I'm going to take my blade and I'm going to set it right in. It does come with some tweezers if you don't want to have to touch that yourself. And I'm going to close it. I'm going to let it go for about 15 seconds, and then I'm going to lift it up and I'm going to flip it over. Why am I flipping it over when there's a blade on 2 sides? Well, we want to make sure that it is honing that at exactly the same way on both sides.
Consistency.
So then I'm going to take it off and I'm going to try it. If it's a little bit dull still, put it back in, do it another 15 seconds on each side, and try it again.
Awesome, Carla. Thank you so much for showing that. And it's awesome because this actually just plugs straight into the wall. So no batteries or anything. You just plug that right in the wall. It actually comes with some tweezers too, because it's a little bit dangerous to play around with blades, and you gotta be careful because you're gonna get cut. And that's also a general thing about TrueCut in general, is easy, safe, and accurate. Oh yes, I almost forgot about, I don't know. I almost forgot about it, but I gotta say, is one of my favorite as well. It is the circle cutter, and it just makes it so easy to do circles. So let me show you, Carla, how easy it is to make circles. And tell me, how difficult is it to make circles without circle cutters?
I cannot cut a circle at all.
You're folding it up, and then you're cutting it out, and then it's kind of a circle, but not really a circle.
So it gets smaller and smaller as I'm trying to make it round, and pretty soon my big circle is now this big.
Yeah, it's like kind of like a snowman, reverse snowman.
Exactly. Right.
So on this one, this is our circle cutter, and I'm gonna move the safety out of the way, but there's a little thing right here. This pushes down, and there's a little blade in there. So I'm gonna pull this up. This is how you can refill it. So you can get new blades. You can take it comes with a little cartridge on it, so it makes it easy and safe to put in. And then you just press that down into there. And then you put this back down. And then there's this little section right here. You can press down on it, and there's a little pin right here. So when we have this on here, it keeps this, it holds it on. Right. And also you can see this is really wide as well. Right. So that way our fabric isn't getting caught or anything. So this is, smoothing it over, and it's not getting caught on anything. And now,
what's the dial here with the measurements?
That's a great question. So this is for the diameter of the circle. You can do anywhere from a 2-inch up to a 12.5-inch diameter circle. So right now we have it set on 5, and there's a little dial right here. You can loosen this and adjust it in between. So I'm going to go back down to 5 right here and just twist this to lock that into place. And then here we go. Ready for this? Ta-da! Just like that.
Look, it's a perfect
Have you ever made a circle that easy?
I have never made a circle that
All right,
easy.
let's do another circle. We'll just show how easy. We'll do even a slightly bigger circle now. And just put that right there in the center. And you want to use
I
your
like the way you're doing this.
non-dominant hand.
Okay.
And you're reaching under. And you just, like that. And look at that. That is just so cute. And what I also love about this as well is so many different creative things you can do with it.
I can do more than a circle.
I know, it's crazy. You can do, this is like a leaf that you have. A leaf. And then you can go on the other side, do another leaf, and then look, you even have like a little apple core right there. So
An apple core. I can put it, we can make a computer quilt. Take a bite out of it.
Yeah. So, yep, you can do all sorts of different shapes and sizes, so many different fun things that you can't usually do because circles are just annoying to make. And, you know, it's hard to do one with scissors or even with a blade.
Now, there's one thing that we didn't talk about yet on our demonstration. We didn't talk about what we're cutting on today. I don't want to cut on my table. I have to use this for dinner tonight.
I know.
What do we use?
So this is our cutting mat. It is 24, oh, hold on. Yep, 24 by
36.
36,
Right?
thank you. I think
24
so, yeah.
by 36.
24 by
Let's
36.
look. There's
I told you, this is our
measurements
second
on
demo.
here.
We're just getting started.
24 by 36. Yes, we are.
Yeah, we're just getting started in the legacy of the Grace Company. I know it's going to be a legacy. Anyway, it's going to be great. So, yep, 24 by 36. And what's great about this one, Carla, is look, you know, after we're done with this side, it's self-healing, 5-layer, so it's going to last you a long time, but it's got another side on it. So it's 2 in 1.
Sides.
Yeah.
And so we've got all our measurements on this side, and what's on the other side?
More measurements.
More measurements?
I know, right?
Oh, perfect. So when this one starts to get worn out, I've got a whole nother side.
Got a whole another one on there.
And it's got all of these markings to do a 90-degree angle. I've got some bias, some grains here to go lengthwise and vertical.
Yeah, you got all the different biases, all the different measurements, so you're all good to go. It's a great cutting mat.
That's perfect.
You know, another thing I wanted to say too, because I was saying it's hard to cut circles, and that's true, but one thing with our comfort cutters is it's actually super easy to steer. Wherever you point your finger, it kind of goes, because you're closer to it. You can see how easy I can turn it, versus with one of these, you know, I'm kind of further away from it. It's a little bit awkward. So this one, I can just make a little circle, like, so easily. You can make all sorts of fun shapes just like that. I know.
That's awesome. Okay, so a lot of people don't know this, but right now I'm left-handed. It might change later.
Yeah. So you're
how do
saying
I
if you
change
happen
that
to
out?
change, if you happen to change what hand you use dominantly.
Can I, do I have to just use it as a righty, which?
No, we can switch it for you. It's super easy. And so all we do is we're gonna take the blade out, and also, did you see that? This is quick release.
It came right out.
So there's no screwing, there's no keeping track of little bits and pieces. So that just comes right out like that. And so then we're gonna put that aside for a second, and then we're just gonna pop this one out. And on this side, same thing, like this, like that, and then push this back in. So this is really easy to do. You're just snapping these parts and sliding them back in. And look at that. Look, I do happen to be right-handed, and I know I don't plan on changing what hand I use. I'm pretty confident I'm gonna stay right-handed. So now this is set up for me. We're gonna go ahead and just put that on there. And again, with the guide, put that on. Boom, just like that, Carla. Do you see that?
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, I'm so excited about this product. It's going to do so well.
It is going to do
You
so
guys
well.
are going to love this. It's going to bring so much joy. Doing that piecing work, making all of these designs is just so much easier.
And you know what else too? One last thing is that this comes in all different sizes. We got the 60, we got the 45, which is the most common, and then we also have the 28. So we have all the sizes that you could ever want.
And we have it in this, in the My Comfort
Yes,
Cutter.
We got the other comfort cutter, we got the straight cutter, we have all of them. That's True Cut.
Don't you miss that, Mark?
Look how naive I was, thinking that joy and happiness would make me money.
That was a nice demo, guys. I hope it's enough to keep us open, though. Times are tough, and we may have to close our company before next Christmas if we can't get our sales up.
That was when I resolved to be the best salesman around. I would save this company whether I was liked or not. Money is the only thing that keeps our doors open.
Mark, you've worked so hard, but don't let your need for one erase the other. Before this night is through, I hope you know what is most important.
Hi, my name is Susan Schmidt, and I'm one of the regional coordinators and vice president for Quilts Beyond Borders. We're a charity of 16 volunteers, no one is paid, and we provide quilts to children in the United States and overseas. We get help from quilters across the country and internationally as well, and people provide lap-sized quilts or tops. And then we have long armors that help us finish them. We get a variety of quilts from all different people with different skill levels. We've given out over 32,000 quilts since we started in 2007. We really have a heart for children. We feel we kind of meet a need that is not met. Our quilts go to the United States and 35 other countries. They go to children in orphanages, refugee camps, shelters, camps here in the United States, foster homes. They are definitely cherished possessions for the kids. Many of the children that we help have nothing. In orphanages, they share clothing, other kinds of belongings. They may have their own toothbrush. So the quilts that they get, each one will have their name on it, is theirs for the rest of their lives. And we're thankful that our quilts last many, many years. We started in 2007 when the daughter of a quilter went to Ethiopia. And then the children had AIDS. And so when she came home and was talking to her mom, they decided that about what could they do, how could they help. So the following year, they got their quilting friends together, they made quilts and took 250 quilts over to Ethiopia. We've made a number of trips there. A number of the coordinators have gone, had an opportunity to actually give quilts to the children there. And you know, when we think about how long a child keeps a quilt and what it really means to them, there was a couple out of Canada that went to Ethiopia and adopted a child when they were very young, and they brought their quilt home, and they contacted us a couple years ago and told us how he's 9 now and sleeps with his quilt every night. We have a variety of ways that people can help us. We're asked that all the time. We ask that people, if they want to make a quilt, they can do that on our website. Is what we're looking for as far as fabric in the quilt, the type of quilting, the dimensions. They're smaller size. We don't take any bed size quilts. And then we have people sometimes that would like to help us by being a regional coordinator, helping with special projects. And then we also have people that are willing to make financial donations to us. That can be done through our website as well, where all of our money goes toward helping mainly provide quilts to get around the country. Different groups take our quilts overseas if they're going overseas. So we have quilts right now going to Ukraine. They go over on container ships, but most of our quilts are all hand carried in suitcases. And so nothing is shipped over, nothing is mailed over, so that we're sure that the quilts that are given to us get given to the groups that they're meant to go to. We have done a lot of work with a humanitarian group to provide quilts to the Syrian refugees. They've been now in refugee camps for 12 years, and so we have sent thousands of quilts to them, and we are really grateful for that help. Some of them are still living in tents. We've done other work for them to help them once in a while. We sent baby quilts over to help the mothers that are delivering children in tents, and we were happy to do that. We get children of all ages, so we get some infants and we get into teens as well. You know, we in the United States, we're really grateful to help the foster program here in the U.S. And so a number of children we go through comfort cases, and a number of children, when they're going into foster care for the first time, get one of our quilts to take with them. And so that's been a real treat. And I know that we've heard a lot of feedback back that the kids have loved their quilts. Another way that people help us is sometimes if they have good quality cotton fabric that they want to donate, we do take fabric donations. And so what happens is people can contact us through our email and our website, and that way they can get in touch with one of the coordinators that's close to them so that they can either have a place to ship their things that's not too far away. And we have some people kind of situated throughout the United States. So we have people on the East Coast, the West Coast, and in between. I started out in Quilts Beyond Borders in 2015, and I had been to Houston the year before with my daughter, who got me started in quilting much later in life. She started first, I started second. And so we decided we would make a quilt for Quilts Beyond Borders. And so the following year, I was ready to retire from a nursing career and started talking with the president about becoming a regional coordinator in Oregon, where I'm located. And they didn't have a coordinator at that time. So I started in July, and I am still happily quilting away and working with hundreds of people. The Northwest and beyond is our group, and since 2015, we've collected and sent out 8,000 quilts. So I have been able to find wonderful quilters who are so faithful and so committed to Quilts Beyond Borders. So I have a large group and sewing groups and a variety of things here on the West Coast. And so that is my kind of story about how I got here. It's been wonderful to have quilting friends, both within QBB, the coordinators themselves, and also just the number of friends I've made working and helping people bring quilts to QBB. Quilts have a history. For many of us, we had grandparents, parents who made quilts. We have hand-done quilts that are treasures and vintage. It's an art to make quilts. It is, for some people, making show quilts is a part of your quilting life. For a lot of us, it's a way to continue our quilting, because what I think all quilters get to a point is you give quilts to your family, you give quilts to your friends, and they get to a point where they're like, okay, I've got enough quilts now. And yet your love for sewing, your love for quilting, you begin to think about how am I going to satisfy that love? And what can I do with my quilts? And so I think what we have found is giving them to children who, for many of us who are parents, if your child had a blanket that they loved and they drug around and they slept with every night, I think that is a piece of what that quilt represents for a child is security, comfort, warmth. I think children who have nothing all of a sudden realize there's someone in this world who has thought that about a child, and someone who cared enough that they would provide something for me to have. And, and many, even when you think about the Middle East and quilts going to Jordan and Syria and a variety of other places, people think, oh, well, the weather's hot. But in the mountainous region, it's cold. It's cold in the wintertime. We've just had a lot of feedback over the years from groups that have taken them to the kids and how excited the kids were. If you have a seamstress background, a quilting background, and you see the quality of the quilts, you see the intricacy of the patterns, you realize the time and the effort, the skill that went into the quilts. And so we're so grateful for the talents and the gifts that are shared with us by the quilters. And we get quilts of all different colors. And sometimes we think, oh my gosh, that doesn't have primary colors in it. It's kind of darker shades. Maybe one had browns and reds in it. And when they ask the kids, you can pick out the quilt that you want. This brown and red quilt was the first one that left the whole group of quilts. And they asked this little boy about, why did you pick that quilt? And he said, well, it reminds me of a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And so, sometimes what we may or may not be drawn to, a child looks at in a totally different way. But I do know, being able to interact with the kids and see where they live. I know when you look on our website and see our brochures, you can see pictures of children with the quilts and deliveries that have been made. And we have so many people that get excited to see where their quilts are going, where they've gone. I've had quilters contact me and say, oh my gosh, I saw my quilt, a child was holding it, they're in Syria or wherever. And, that's exciting for them as well. So many quilters I have met have a giving heart. And I think that they are looking for ways to share their gifts and talents. They have a love for making a quilt. When you sit down and you make a quilt, you begin to think about and wonder who that quilt is going to go to, what child may get this quilt. And I think there are people that are concerned for children, especially in this world right now. Syrian refugee children walking 300 miles to get out of Syria, and Ukrainian children that we've watched flee their homes and have to go somewhere else. And I think those stories and those realities for children are part of what touch a quilter's heart, because they recognize what a quilt means, the comfort of it. When you're cold and you're frightened and you're wrapped up in a quilt, for just a little bit, you can be comforted by that. And I think there's children that look at their quilts, and some of them have blocks and they may be scrappy with all different kinds of pieces in them, all different kinds of fabric. Children will sit there and look at all those different pieces and run their fingers along them. And for the long armers, you look at the intricacy of some of the long arming. Sometimes we think it's just a squiggly line, but you can see a child running their finger along the lines of that stitching, or they turn over the back of it and all of a sudden there's cars that have been stitched into it, or flowers or something else. So, I think the quilters have a lot of pride in the work that they do and trying to make their quilts really special for whoever gets it. I started out as a piecer. I was a piecer at heart. Some people love to do the piecing part and really just want to make tops. So we do accept tops, but the long arming piece of it is really critical, because we would just have tops without a quilt if we didn't have long armers. And I get in my group, I get in over 800 tops a year. And so I would be lost without long armers. And so we are always looking for long armers. I think, we provide the top and the backing and the binding. And then you can decide on the pattern and the thread, and we'll ship stuff to you and wherever you may be. But that part of it is really important for us. If you're a long armer and you want to help, you can contact us through our email, quiltsbeyondborders@gmail.com. We have a lady that runs our email, and she will get in touch with you, find out where you're located, and then we'll put you in contact with either a coordinator that's close to you that will give you the tops and the backings to quilt, or we'll send them to you if there isn't somebody right close by. Then people go ahead and quilt them, and then we'll tell you the closest person to send it back to. I just want to thank everyone for watching. If you've got some free time and you'd like to do some quilting for us, we hope that you'll reach out. If you're willing to make a donation to us, we'd appreciate it. It would help us a great deal. We hope that you will be willing to share some of your time, your gifts, your talents with children here in the U.S. and abroad.
Where's everybody? Nobody. I can't believe this. Nobody's here. There you are. Where's everyone? We have products to sell.
I'm not the Jana you know. I'm the Spirit of Grace present.
Not this again. I don't have time for this. We have products to sell.
You know you can lighten up, right? Good times come, bad times come. You're working hard, but you have to take time to appreciate what you have. All the employees right now are at the Grace holiday party. You're the one that's missing out. Let's go.
Your presentation was really good.
But not good enough for Mr. McScrooge.
The little rebel's doing really well. You guys did awesome with it, despite what McScrooge said.
Yeah, I'm really worried about our 16X Elite and Q-Zone hoop demo. Enough is never enough for McScrooge.
Well, why don't you guys show us the demo?
Yeah.
Ready?
Ready.
Hi everybody, I'm Allegra Erznosnik.
I'm Anthony Witterberg.
And we are here to demo the 16X Elite on the Q-Zone hoop frame. This is personally my favorite machine. It runs at 2100 stitches per minute with the regulation, has 4 built-in stitch modes, and easy access to maintenance. What are some fun things that you like about the 16X Elite?
My personal favorite thing about the 16X Elite is the 3 different lights that you get on this machine. You get a nice throat light in here so you can see better when you are doing your quilting. You get a needle light, which also helps you see better with your quilting. And underneath here you get a bobbin light, so it's easier to just switch out that bobbin. You can see what you're doing the whole way around.
Oh my gosh, those are amazing features. This is the only quilting machine that we have that has those throat lights and that LED bobbin light. And a super cool thing about that throat light is it uses shadow dispersing technology. So if you ever do have to work in that throat space, you're never having to look through or try and work around those shadows. The light does it for you.
Another favorite part of this, you were talking about the 4 stitch regulated modes. On this 7-inch display screen, you can easily access those modes here. You have precise, we have cruise, manual, and your basting stitch.
But that's not the only thing that you can access from the 7-inch display that we have on the machine. We have built-in settings and also built-in help guides. With the settings, you can customize pretty much anything on the machine. The brightness of the throat lights, the brightness of the needle light. You can also change if you want a full stitch or a half stitch, what position you want your needle to stop in, if you want to work in inches or centimeters. Really, it's all here for you at the tip of your fingers. And all of those built-in help guides I think is an amazing feature, because how many times have you had to rummage around for your manual when you forgot something?
Too many times.
And where do you ever find it? I never find it.
It's always in a box that I will remember where it is. At least here I will remember where it is.
Maintenance, troubleshooting, all of that built into here for you, so you never have to go around and look for your manual, just right at your fingertips for you. We also have built-in overspeed warning and edge warning. Do you want to tell them a little bit about that?
I do. So, you know, sometimes on your quilt, you're doing a fancy little swirl design, you're getting really into it. You hit that edge and it puts a straight line on your swirl. Nobody wants that. We want nice, beautiful designs. So with your edge warning, you can set it to about a 1/2 inch or 1 inch, and it'll tell you when you're getting close to your edge, so you know when you can pull up on your design and it won't ruin it at all. With your overspeed, I know we all get into it. You start going a little faster, you're getting in the rhythm. This is gonna tell you with either a light or a sound or both, you can turn either on or off, that you are going a little too fast for the stitch regulation to keep up. So if you want nice, even stitches, you better listen to your machine.
Yes, and the great thing about that overspeed warning is you're not going to hurt the machine if you go over the 2100 stitches per minute. It just won't be able to accommodate that stitch regulation for you. So the only thing it's letting you know is, hey, your stitches aren't going to be nice and pretty anymore.
I do have to point out another feature on this machine, your bobbin estimator.
Oh my gosh, I was going to bring that up next.
We both have the same mind here. You want to know how much bobbin thread you have left? This will tell you. It works in the same way as like a stoplight in your car. Green, you're good to go, keep going. Yellow, you might want to check in and see how much you have left. Red, you could be running out in the next 3 stitches.
Change it before you run out is what that red bobbin is telling you. And you can see that here on the screen right now. It's a green bobbin letting us know that it is full, ready to go. You don't have to change it out anytime soon. And then yellow when you should probably start looking out for it, and red when it wants you to change it.
Yes. All right, and I do have to go over the handlebars on here. Your handles are gonna have 4 different buttons. So on the one over here, you're gonna have an up and down arrow, and that's gonna change your stitches per inch. So you can do that just at the click of the button. You don't have to reach up and touch the screen. On this side, you're gonna have your start stop button, and you're gonna have a needle up, needle down button. Everything at your fingertips, no having to pull away and hoping that your design's gonna stay or starting and stopping in a weird spot.
Yes, and the handles are adjustable, so you can extend them and rotate the handles inside or out to match whatever is most comfortable for you, like so. The handles can extend and push back in. They can also rotate inside and outside. That way you can get maximum comfort while you're quilting. This machine also has a built-in bobbin winder right on the back near here with a start and stop buttons and also a fill sensor. You can adjust this fill sensor so that you can fill your bobbin maybe a little under full, sometimes a little bit over full, but that way you can get your bobbin exactly where you want it and how you like them to be.
I will add the bobbin winder also is on its own motor so that you don't have to worry about anything with the machine changing. It will run on its own motor and the machine will run on its own motor.
Yes, that's a great feature if you want to use automation. This way you don't have to stop whatever pattern is stitching out so that you can wind your bobbin. You can do them both at the same time.
You told me this is your favorite machine.
Yes.
How am I going to maintain this machine so it lasts me for as long as possible?
Oh my gosh, I love showing people how to maintain this machine. It is so easy to access and so easy to get to. It's kind of mind-boggling to me. So right here, this hood just opens up, easy peasy. Access, really easy to see what you need to maintain and also very easy to access what you need to maintain as well. So I love that this just swings open. The only thing you need to watch out when you close it is that you don't catch your thread that's already threaded. If you do that and you don't notice, you can break your thread while you're stitching. I have learned.
Oh no.
And a great thing about this machine as well is if maybe you forgot how to thread it. I know I forget how to thread the machines and I thread them all the time. If you ever forget how to thread your machine like I do, that is something that is going to be built into that 7-inch display with the built-in help guides, but it's also printed on the side of your machine. So you do have these print guides on the side that tell you exactly how and where to thread your machine step by step so you don't do anything wrong. Now, we've talked about the machine. What frame is this machine sitting on?
This is sitting on our wonderful Q-Zone hoop frame.
Okay, it looks kind of small. Can I do a big quilt on this frame?
You absolutely can do a big quilt.
Okay.
This is actually the first thing I wanted to bring up about this frame. I love this one because it is smaller, it's a little more compact. So if you have a smaller quilting space, a sewing room that you just don't have the room for the 8, the 10, the 12-foot frame, this will be your best friend because it is a hoop style frame. It's going to work similar to like an embroidery hoop where you clamp down the area you want to work on and continually move your fabric as you go. So you can do anything from a table runner, a baby quilt, up to a king size quilt on this.
A king size?
A king size.
Oh my goodness.
It's not limiting you. Even though it's small, it is mighty.
I love that. It's an amazing feature to have if, like Anthony said, you don't have a lot of space in your room for an 8-10 or a 12-foot rolling frame that you're probably typically used to seeing when it comes to quilting. Having a hoop frame, this is only 4.5 feet wide. That's the only footprint that you need, the only amount of space you need to have, and then you can make anything as small or as large as you want.
And on this frame, you can fit either our 16 series, which I highly recommend, or our 19 series, so there is room to grow with this frame.
And it is, it's a basting optional frame, so you're just gonna put all 3 layers of your quilt together and make your quilt sandwich. And then basting optional, you're gonna throw it on top, you're gonna clip it down, and then there's no right way to start quilting from there. You can do middle out, top to bottom, bottom to top, side to side, whatever you prefer, but there's no right way to tell you how to quilt on this frame. This frame is also depth adjustable, so no matter what machine you're putting on here, whether it's one of our 16s, our 19s, or even a domestic machine, it's height adjustable to accommodate whatever height of the base of the machine that you have, and it's also depth adjustable to accommodate your throat space. Depth adjustment is very important. That way it's not always sitting at 19 inches deep. It makes it a little hard to see how much quilting space you actually have left if your throat space is smaller than you have it extended.
One of my favorite features about this is these ribbed fabric clips. Our rails on here are square, so this rib design is going to help these act as a ratcheting system. When you put them on, you can twist them in and loosen your fabric, twist them out, tighten it up. Whatever tension you need from this, it can help with these clips here. You don't have to keep trying to pull it off, hold it down, slap it back on, which I did a lot when I first started here before I knew about these. I do also want to point out, you don't want your fabric to drag around in the back here. We do have these little elastic clips that are just going to wrap around your excess fabric, hook on to these back rails that have a special spot for them to hook on. You'll tighten it up and it'll hold it all nice and neat in here without, dragging under or getting in the way of your throat space.
Yes, we love that. And a question that I often get is, how tight do you want your fabric on the frame? Not super tight. You don't want it tight enough that you could bounce a quarter off of it. A little bit of sag is perfect. If you have it too tight, when you take your quilt off, it can pucker up.
Oh,
so yeah, I know
that to happen to your designs.
So yeah, just a little bit of sag, a little bit of loose is what you want, and then you are ready to get going. All right, so we've talked about this combo. What price can you normally find this combo at?
You'll typically find this combo starting at $8,299.
But it is on sale for $5,288, which is a steal. That's over $3,000 off.
Basically getting a free frame is what it feels like.
You are.
We're just giving this away at this point.
Exactly, yeah. This is an amazing bundle to have. It's budget friendly, it's space friendly, easy to use, and you don't have any limitations. You can make any project as small or as big as you want. Thank you guys so much for joining us. My name is Allegra Isnosnik.
My name is Anthony Witterberg.
And we'll see you later.
Bye.
That was great. You guys did such a good job. I wouldn't worry. This is a wonderful product and it's going to be a great fit for some customers out there.
Really? That makes us feel so much better. You guys are the best.
See how much they support each other? They know how much this means to you. Sometimes people just need a little kindness and support.
No one ever showed support to me.
You know that's not true. They support you every day. And our customers support us. Everybody's trying to help each other out.
Well, someone has to push. Things just don't get done on their own.
But getting things done and how they get done, that's two different things. You want some joy and kindness to motivate people. Have a good time. We want our customers to have a great experience. You should have fun too. Think about that. Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Hi everyone! Welcome to Midday Live. We're going to talk a little bit about everything that we've seen prior. We're going to do some giveaways. And the first thing we want to do is we're going to ask you some questions. We want to hear from you. First of all, tell me some of your favorite holiday traditions. What have we got? Favorite holiday traditions? My favorite holiday tradition, of course, is the night before Christmas pajamas.
Oh,
yes.
You gotta have the night before Christmas
right?
pajamas.
And the kids are, I know what they are, Mom. It's all right. I don't even need to open it. I know what it is.
Well, that's not the point. They're no fun.
But
I
they
love
don't
my
know.
pajamas.
They're themed, and the dog gets one, and it's
wow,
just
that's so
great.
cute.
I love that tradition. All right.
Yeah.
We also want to know what you're learning from our show today. What is inspiring you about the Grace Carol?
I see some answers coming in. Baking cookies, a lot of baking
Ooh,
cookies.
baking cookies.
Delicious. I bet
Then I eat the
they make the
cookies.
most delicious cookies ever. Making
Putting up the
cookies.
decorations.
There we go.
Ooh,
gathering.
Roxanne, candy making.
Ooh,
That
that's
sounds fun. Yeah.
Have you ever made candy before?
Yes.
You have?
Yes.
Well, I have not. Well, is it fun?
Good, but takes forever.
Yeah, sounds like it. But sometimes that's what you want to do.
Baking with the grandkids,
Aw.
friends and family.
Decorating the tree with the grandbabies.
Aw. And then they all decorate down at the very bottom.
Yeah.
You gotta
and then
move
you get the
everything to the top.
Watching Charlie Brown's Christmas special.
Ooh, gingerbread. Ooh, cinnamon rolls. That sounds fun. Jeanette, it's good to hear from you. And decorating with the tree with your kids and grandkids. My kids are all grown up, so their idea of decorating the tree is none of it.
I see some decorating the gingerbread house. Fun. Cookie exchange. Now that sounds
Ooh,
like a
we
fun
should do a
time.
cookie
Yeah,
exchange.
cookie exchange. That way you get a little bit of flavor of what everyone has going on
There you
instead of just your
go.
own. That sounds
Perfect
awesome.
idea. You just gave us a good idea there. And Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown's a staple, right?
Absolutely. Thank you all so much for joining us and sharing your stories with us. I'd really love to hear all the things that people have going on around their holiday season.
Now, let's move on. Let's talk about our deals, guys, because ultimately that's what we're all here for. We want to know what's
Totally.
on sale for Christmas. So, again, we're going to take you over to our website, and we just want to show you how easy it is for you to bundle products. So, you're going to go into, we're just going to watch right here, go into resources.
Deals.
There you go, shop. And then it's just right there. You're able to bundle it. You pick the machine you want. You pick the frame you want. It gives you those discounts because you're putting them together, you get extra discounts. If I bought a 19X today and I don't buy that the Cutie frame until next month, I don't know. But right now I'm getting an excellent deal by bundling them together.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just love this tool because that's the thing I always get questions on. And I think that's really fair because we do have a lot of different things going on because we fit so many different spaces. So being able to come in here and say, I want this frame with this machine, it really takes the guesswork out of there. And you can see exactly what your bundle is going to be priced
And
at.
you can compare it. Do I really want that 21X Elite? The answer is yes. Do I really want that Evolution Elite 12-foot? Oh, of course. But you can look at your budget restraints, you can look at everything and get a great idea before you do that.
Awesome.
All right. Now, don't forget about the vendor hall. You guys, the vendor hall, we're so excited about. Check them out. There's some amazing companies that have products that just align with the things that we have. We've got patterns, we've got thread, we've got fabric that you don't see. There's some really, really nice fabric out there. So make sure to hit the vendor hall, take a look at all of our vendors. And remember, if you haven't done your bingo yet, there's one in there. So go ahead and click on that so you can get it.
Giving out the insider secrets there, Julie. I'm just kidding.
Well,
you better do
sometimes
your
you
bingo.
forget, so. Okay, now, we do just want to take a little bit of time and warn you again about scammers. So you guys, we have some big Scrooges out there, and they just want everybody's life to be miserable. So we want you to know that we will never, ever ask for your credit card information over an email or a text. And if we are going to call you to get a credit card, we're definitely going to verify everything so that you know that we're legitimate. Now, if you have questions, please give us a call, and don't just pick a phone number. Don't, if someone emails you a phone number, I would suspect that that could be a scam as well. Please call us at our phone number that's listed on the screen. You can also go to our website, graceframe.com, and our phone number will be there so that you know that you'll be safe giving us a call.
Yep, and as you can see there, it's always we will be using at graceframe.com and our email addresses, so make sure to look like that. Sometimes they'll put in an extra letter or like a
They
little
will.
switch. So just keep
Or
an
they
eye
move
on
one
that.
letter, guys, and they're just getting trickier and trickier, those Scrooges.
And then, like it says, we will never ask for it on social media. So if we're asking
Right.
for any personal social information on social media like Facebook, you know that's immediate red flag. So just watch
Right.
out for that. It's a holiday season. Like
Right.
Julie said, there's those big Scrooges out there. So make
Yep.
sure to watch out for them with these important steps right here.
And then just remember that if someone has told you that you won a prize on one of the social media platforms, we don't just give prizes out of the blue. We always have a contest going, or like the winter market going on. We always have something that we'll tie it into. If you're ever worried that it is a scam, please just give us a call.
All right, well, it looks like we're going to go through some of the promotions that we have going on right now, which we showed you the bundle builder on our website. And so this month we have some really good deals on all those different bundles. And really that bundle builder is a fantastic way to do that. But if you know which one machine you're looking at, this is the 16. You can see we got 3 different models. And thanks again to Allegra and Anthony for that awesome
yes.
presentation. And
So know a little bit more about it. Now the 16X manual, we do have people that ask, what does that mean? So that is the basic 19X. Whoa, I need some glasses, guys.
Oh, it was a 16
It's
a second
time
ago.
for those
It's
glasses.
okay. They
Anyway,
switched it. It's the 19
yes,
now.
the manual machines just do not come with automation. So if that's in your budget, if you don't need automation because you're just a pro at it, you can do that at any time. You can add automation to that machine. So we've got our 19 series and our 21X Elite, of course, at some amazing deals. Great for your budget this time of year.
Yeah, and I would just remind everyone, this is the holiday season, so it's the best deals around.
Yep,
so
it's
if you're
gonna be the
thinking,
best.
Definitely now is the best time to go ahead and do that. And of course, Julie,
Oh, the
we
Little
have
Rebel.
the Little Rebel.
We've been waiting for it, guys.
We've
It's
been waiting
finally
for it.
here. We are getting things out. Everything's being QC'd, making sure everything's perfect. And all of you that pre-ordered, we're getting those out just as fast as possible. But for those that missed out on the pre-orders, we still have it. We've got the Little Rebel, and we're ready to start sending them out to you as early as next year. Which sounds like a really long time, but it's only like 3 weeks away.
Right, I know, it keeps getting closer and closer. And, it's a good thing to get your order in as soon as possible because it is kind of like a line right now because how many people
Right.
have been buying them.
Oh,
So
yes, it is kind
just
of a
get
line.
in line.
Yep.
So that way we can get yours out as soon as possible. And so we got the original Cutie table fabric frame, and this is just a staple product. It is so fantastic. I'm sure a lot of you out there know about the Cutie frame. So if you don't have one yet, now is the time to get one.
Right, it'll
It's
never go lower than
$4.99.
this.
This is the final lowest price that we're ever going to have for there. So yeah, make sure to get one of those. It's such a fantastic frame. And then, we have different options on our frames. We've got the Q-Zone hoop frame, the Q-Zone queen frame, and there's also another extension. It's not listed here, but we actually have a new extension for the Q-Zone queen frame that can push
Right.
it out to a 10-foot. So that's
Exactly,
something to
so it's a
bring up here as
2-foot
well.
extension, so that we'll be able to add that soon. So if you already have your queen frame, you can get it and add that on, or you can get it as a part of the whole thing if you're gonna purchase new.
And Julie, one of my favorite frames that we've
Yes.
honestly ever come out with,
Right.
definitely, 100% Quilters Evolution Elite frame. It's got those really nice metal ratchets, so if you're looking for a really high-end frame, this is definitely the one to get. And that also goes for a hoop frame because you don't have to compromise if you don't have a whole ton of space. You can still do that 5-foot frame that has those metal ratchets, super sturdy build. You're never gonna have to buy another frame again.
Right, and if you need to start out with a hoop frame for budget constraints, you can add later. You can turn that hoop frame into a rolling frame all the way up to 12 feet.
And now we have the QCT6, and we are just so excited about this because we came out with that lower tier, and you can see that is all the way down at $2,799.20. And now when you look at the comparative pricing of the other versions, Julie, that is just a really steal of a deal, especially compared to other brands out there. So that's an edge-to-edge QCT6. So if you've been thinking about the QCT and you've been holding off, you're like, I don't want to spend all that money.
Right.
Now is the time because we have a promotion on top of that new lowest tier, and you can always upgrade later.
Right, I can
So-
always get the Pro, or I can skip Plus and go straight to Pro. QCT6 is just edge to edge is just easier. If you're not tech savvy like me, this one is very easy because it's literally step by step by step with all of the instructions on the screen. So it's a great way to get started.
All right, and the free motion quilting starting kit. This is such a great way to get started. I always hear people saying, oh, you know, where do I get started? What do I do with my machine? Because it's kind of like, you know, if you got a blank canvas and you got some paint and you're like, okay, well now how do I start painting? It's like, where do I go from here? Because there's so many different things you can choose to do. And this is like the perfect little kit that gives you an instruction and kind of some ideas, so that way you can start branching out and doing more of what you want to do. Well, this gives you some good fundamentals, takes you through the ropes, comes with a panel. It's fantastic. And now 20% off all True Cut products.
That's amazing. Now's your time to get everything, guys. All of you that I have said, or I've been watching, that you don't have your 28 cutter yet, you don't have some of the rulers, now's the time to get it. 20% off of all True Cut products.
That is a really good deal. I love the circle cutter, love the sharpener.
Right?
They're all so fun, yeah.
Of course, that 360 circle cutter, my
360
favorite.
circle cutter. Yeah, if you haven't seen that out, you need to check it out on the website. Not now, though. You gotta stick with us and after all the things. But so, also, we're gonna go ahead and just remind everyone, if you can share, if you're enjoying it, which we really hope you are, we've put a lot of effort into it and we're so happy that all of you are joining us here, but you can share it on YouTube, Facebook. There is going to be a little box that you can click on there to copy the link and send it to your friends.
Right.
So if you got a quilting buddy and you're just like, hey, they need to know
They've
about
got to
Grace
see
Company,
this.
yeah,
All you need to
join
do
them in.
on Facebook, it's a share button up in the corner. On, let's see, YouTube, it's down at the bottom and it'll say share, again, with Instagram as well. So share it with your friends. Let them know that we're out there. If they're looking for information, if they're looking for a deal, let them know that we're here and let them know how much you are loving the program today.
Awesome, yeah, and let's see here. And also you can see that's all of our social media right there. And if you are enjoying it, please just leave us a review. It really helps us out. And we love to hear, even if it's a bad review, you know, we want to hear it too. So
anything
good, or
good and
just let us
bad, we
know.
can't get better if we don't know the bad.
We want to hear from you, so please let us know because we want to make improvements and we also want to hear when we're doing good. So thank you so much for leaving some reviews there and everyone that has. And if you do have the time, please leave us one if you haven't.
We'd love to hear from you. We like to get big heads. So now we do want to talk about our second charity that we did talk about earlier, and it is called Quilts Beyond Borders charity. Quilt Beyond Borders is an all-volunteer nonprofit organization which reaches out to underserved children, mainly orphans across the world, and they provide handmade quilts and spread love and hope.
Wow.
And I mean, that's amazing. These
amazing.
kids, number one, they get something that's theirs, right?
Absolutely.
They get something that's beautiful, and they get something that's practical. They need something to keep them warm. They need something to give them comfort. There are some size specifications on the website. They want it easy that they can roll up and take with them because a lot of these kids, they're moving frequently right now, especially with the Ukraine. They might have to leave. So there are some specifications to give them a look. I do want to point out, as Susan Schmidt, who's the vice president, she did say that everyone is a volunteer there. Nobody makes a profit. So all of the money goes directly into making those quilts.
That's awesome.
Right?
Because quilts, I don't know, like from my experience of quilts just being wrapped up in a quilt.
Right.
It just is no. It's like being at home, even if you're not home. And if you're in your own home and you put like a quilt on, you're like, wow, now I'm at like double home. So,
instantly better.
You know, for people, refugees, and those orphans and people who don't have a place right now, that is such a huge thing. Right. Giving them a little home and some comfort that they can have in their really rough world that they're going through. So that is just awesome.
And we do want to mention that the Grace Company is no way affiliated with these charities. We do not collect any donations on their behalf. We do not get any of those donations here at the Grace Company. We just want to spotlight some of these great charities that are in line with our interests and the things that we do.
Awesome. Well, so thank you so much for sharing that information about that, Julie. And let's see here. So
I think we might need to do giveaways.
We might need to. There's one more thing.
Okay.
And it's if you want to watch this again later, because the Christmas Carol, it's really fun to watch, and you're going to want to watch it again. Or like if you share it, or you're not able to drop by, you know, we will have it on our Etched platform. So make sure you can go to www.etchedtogether.com to go ahead and rewatch that, or watch like a day that you missed, you know, because you might be super busy quilting right now for all the holiday
Exactly.
things. So,
and you're going to be so disappointed that you missed us. And remember, when you get on there, you can share that as well to your friends and family. If you just want to have them look and see that what we're up to this at this winter market, see what kind of pranks we're pulling, what kind of jokes we're making. Let your friends see. Let them see that we're kind of hilarious over here.
All right, so we were saying something about a giveaway.
Ooh, should we do some?
Yeah, I think.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think that's why they're all watching. All right, Jarek. Jarek, you have a question for us, and then we will take some answers and give you a prize.
So this might be a little bit more of a tricky question because I don't know if we mentioned it specifically in here, but it brings up a really good point that I want to talk about as well. And that is, does anyone know where and what it is where they can find a dealer near them?
Okay, guys.
We
So
have a way to find a dealer
you want to
near
find
you.
a dealer near you. How do you find it? Where do you look?
This is a tricky question.
It is a tricky question.
We will go over it before we do
Right,
this. And
we
now this
did
one
it.
requires a little bit
We
of
want to
background
know if
knowledge,
you know, and if you don't know, we'll tell you.
Yeah, we'll tell you. It's such a great thing because our dealers are really fantastic. And while we're waiting for answers to come in, I just want to really encourage you to look for a local dealer if you can. We love when you go through us, but really we love it when you go through a dealer because it is that extra layer of support. And there's a lot of answers coming in here.
There we
That's
go.
awesome.
Yep. And you guys, we do. We love our dealers, and we 100% support them. We want them to be successful. When they're successful, we're successful, and you're successful. And it does just give you that second person to back you up. You need some help. You've got two people you can look for help. You need repairs. You've got two different companies you can look for. Parts, everything that you need. Now you've just got that double support.
And I see a lot of answers coming in, and there's a lot of really close ones, but what we're looking for specifically is like, what's the name of it?
Oh, I see some.
There's a few in there that I'm seeing.
All
There
right.
we go, there's some in there.
Let's
Awesome.
pick a winner from Facebook, and I'm going to pick a prize. Ooh, the linear sharpener. All right, who is going to win the linear sharpener today?
Amber
Witt. Amber, perfect. Yes. So on our website, it's actually, I'll give you the hint if you can't find it. It's under resources on our website page, and then it's the dealer locator. Now, if you're looking for a Qnique machine, make sure you click the button that says Qnique. If you're in the mood for some True Cut products, you just need to click that button.
Yeah.
And if you're just looking for Grace products in general, you can click that button. But make sure you click those buttons so that it gives you the dealers that actually are carrying all of those products.
Yeah, and you can either put in your zip code or you can do your state, whatever way is easiest. And then you can also do anywhere from 25 up to 200 miles away, I
Yes.
believe.
So you can get a close one, or you can take a day trip.
Yep, right there. So dealer locator, right under here. You can see you can put your postal code in. You can do show results 25 miles, United States, and there's that filter Julie was talking about right there. You can see it's selected for Qnique. That's most likely what you want to keep selected if
Right.
you're looking at any sort of machine, frames.
Yes.
That's going to be the best one to keep selected. So, yep, you can move that around. And there's some dealers that will even say that they're like a premier dealer,
Right.
preferred. So it's got some really great information in there. And again, we just really encourage you to look for a local dealer if you can, because you'll get that extra fantastic support, and we absolutely love our dealers.
And we
So,
are bringing in more and more dealers all the time. If a dealer is not near you, please reach out to us. We want to help you find someone. We do have a good list of online dealers that are very supportive, so we would be glad to help you get in touch with them. Now, let's do a winner on that question for our YouTube viewers.
let's see here. A square ruler bundle and true grips. So bring that bad boy up there. So
There
we
you
got
go.
3 different size square rulers. And again, I'm sure a lot of people know about True Cut by now. And if you don't, I need you to find out because it's really awesome. So you got those rulers with the edge on there, and then also true grips that I think a lot of people have heard about to go on there to keep those from slipping around.
You can put them on anything, guys.
I do use true cut or like true grips because it really does keep things from slipping around. So it's just a really great multi-purpose thing like you're saying there, Julie.
And our winner is Karen Ranstad.
Congratulations.
Karen, congratulations. You do have the right answer. Thank you all so much. And then we have one more platform. All right, so let's do our platform for our Grace website. Ooh, what do I want?
Which one do you want to do?
I like this one.
I like this cute little tree. It's adorable.
It is cute. I'm gonna. Oh, 360 circle cutter, my favorite.
Oh, yeah, that's a employee favorite.
It is the employee favorite. You guys, circles for days.
Circles for days. Yeah, I mean, circles are such a pain in the butt to do.
They are.
And so having this one just makes it such a breeze, literally, to cut out circles. And you can do so many different fun, creative projects with it. So, Mr.
Blindberry. We're so sorry.
Mr. Lynn Blindberry, you have won the 360 circle cutter, and I really hope you enjoy it. Congratulations.
You will. You can make so many things with that. Now, remember that you need to reach out to Allegra at graceframe.com to get those prizes. There's her name right there. Just reach out to her, tell her that you want a prize at the winter market, and we can go from there. All right, now what should we do? Did you want to sing the 12 Days of Christmas? No? No, guys, no 12 Days of Christmas. All right, so we can do another question. Okay, let me think here. Okay, so there is an item that we are currently still have in stock. We're selling it for a very discounted price before we bring in a replacement product for it. Can you tell me what that is? I'll give you a hint. The cost is $4.99.
It's a pretty big hint.
Yeah.
If they were paying attention a second ago.
If they were.
Okay, I see a lot of answers coming in.
There we go.
And thank you all again so much for hanging with us here and joining us for this awesome holiday season. I've heard from a lot of people on the phone that I've been talking to. Everyone's just been so nice. So thank you so much for being super nice and having a great holiday spirit when we call in no Scrooges around here.
Exactly.
That I know of.
No
I've never
Scrooges.
seen a Scrooge in the Grace Company ever.
No Scrooges. All right, we're getting some answers. So let's go to Facebook first. Jarrett, do you want to pick the next winner?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go ahead. And we have a 4-pack of variegated thread.
Ooh, variegated thread. Yeah. Primary school's my favorite. It's every primary color you can think of. It's just beautiful. But the way these all just flow one color into the next, it is just beautiful, guys. So this is a really nice thread, pack of 4. Again, it is a 3-ply thread, 100% polyester, 1,500 yards on a spool. I hope you enjoy that, and let's see who the winner is.
Nancy Zander.
Nancy Zander, you got it. The Cutie frame. The Cutie Breeze is now coming out. It's just a little bit of an improvement, a little bit longer, a little bit easier to put together. And so we do want to make anybody who would like to get the Cutie Original now at that really good price.
And let me just say this too, it is such a fantastic frame. There is a new version and that we did improve things on it, but there is absolutely nothing wrong with the original Cutie frame. So it is such a fantastic frame, and it really makes it so easy to use your own domestic machine on there. And so, I mean, we talk about it a lot, and that is for a really good reason. So
well, and the original is original for a reason, you guys. It's great. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, let's give a winner to our YouTube watchers. Ooh, 45 millimeter comfort cutter. Perfect. Ooh. My favorite for lefties or for righties. I don't know why that's my favorite thing, you guys, but I don't know if there are lefties out there, but there aren't cutters for you. And I can't cut a straight line with my left hand, let alone my right hand. So this is just amazing to me that I can change that blade around.
Yeah, and it's just so much more ergonomic too. I mean, I'm sure we've all done a lot of cutting in our time when it comes to making quilts, and your hand just wears out really quick. You know, especially if you have arthritis or anything like that. You know, I have a little bit of carpal tunnel myself, and this really does relieve that. It doesn't put pressure on it, and it's all in your palm instead of being on your fingers and your wrist and everything like that. So,
Yep, love it.
and one of those things you got to try
You
to
do.
really understand.
You have to try to
Yeah, you
understand,
gotta give it
guys.
a chance to
So
really
give
be
us
like,
a,
"Oh, wow,
a
this is
chance.
awesome." Yeah.
All right, let's see who our winner is. All right, Lynn Rem, I hope I said that right. You are right. The cutie frame is the answer to our question. Congratulations on that. And now, Jarek, do you want to pick for our website watchers?
Let's see if we can get a really good one here.
Okay.
Oh, let's see. I mean, they're all good, but let's
They
get
are
the
all
best one.
good, yeah.
Let's see here. Oh, another 45 comfort cutter.
Woo!
Who is the second comfort cutter
Okay,
going to go
comfort
to
cutter.
today?
We don't have to go over it again. We'll just say again that it's perfect. Let me point out right there where it says True Cut. That is a piece of plastic that comes off. You guys, you can put a picture in there. You could put a piece of fabric in there. You could do whatever you want to make it truly yours. Pop that plastic back on, and now you've got a custom-made comfort cutter.
Yeah, it's really fun if you want to put a little bit of your own, like,
Spin on things,
your own
yep.
spin in there. And so the winner is Susan Douglas. So congratulations, Susan. I hope you love your new comfort cutter, because we certainly, as we've been talking about, all love them here.
Right, we do. We love it. Now remember to reach out to Allegra at graceframe.com to get that prize.
All right, Julie.
All right,
Well,
I think
we've done a lot of giving away.
we have.
But let's just engage with everyone a little bit more here. Ask them a few more questions, because we're talking
Okay.
about our
Ooh.
favorite traditions. Is there anything else you want to ask everyone?
Well, before we go to a question, do we want to do our big giveaway, or do we want to ask questions first and make them sweat a little bit?
We got to make them sweat a little bit.
Okay, we're going to sweat a little bit.
'Cause
Okay.
it's coming right up. So
Okay, this is a question I want to know. Who is your little Scrooge in your family that's only getting coal for Christmas? Grandchild, husband, grandpa? Who is it, guys? I want to know who the Scrooge is.
Julie, well, who is it in your family?
You know, my husband is a big Scrooge at face value,
Okay.
but secretly, he's a very giving person. But he might get some coal. It might be chocolate coal or a
Like
cookie coal.
half coal.
Half coal, half Santa.
There you go.
He loves Christmas, but he doesn't want to decorate and he doesn't want to put those Christmas lights up.
There's a lot of answers coming here that says me, and I gotta
Me?
say, for in my household, where I'm the only one that lives there, it's definitely I'm the biggest.
You're the
Scrooge
biggest
there.
one?
But at the
It's not
same
your
time,
fish?
I'm like the biggest not Scrooge as well. 'Cause,
What's
like,
your fish's name?
her name's Puffy. She's a tiny
Oh,
little
yes,
puffer fish.
and Puffy, she's
No,
sweet.
she's such a
She's
sweetheart.
not a
She
Scrooge?
yeah, she's really aggressive, but she's such a sweetheart anyway. So there's no way a fish could be a little Scrooge.
I love all the husbands. I'm sorry, but that's my favorite. I love to make fun of my husband, so you guys are awesome. Co-workers, we won't tell. Younger brother, you guys are awesome. Grandson, oh, hubby. Me, I do love the me's. I could be a Scrooge sometimes, just on certain things. Yeah.
But by the end of the year, Santa Claus is coming, so we gotta
That's true.
shape back up.
I think for most people, you're the Scrooge before Christmas, but then Christmas Eve hits and there goes the Scrooge. Now you're just all in.
All right, and one more question, and then
'Kay.
we'll have our big giveaway.
Okay.
What is your favorite cookie? Because there's a lot of people
Cookie
talking
for
about
the
their
cookie
baking.
exchange.
And also drop your recipes
Yeah, there
somewhere
you
so I
go.
can have them. Because I know some of you out there have some really amazing recipes. I'm sure of it. So if you have like a family secret recipe,
Yeah, we want a recipe,
You want
or-
to email Jarek@graceframe.com.
There you
I'm not
go.
going to complain.
That's Jarek with a K. Sugar drop cookies. Ooh, those sound good. Gingerbread.
Gingerbread.
I can't make gingerbread. Thumbprints.
I've never heard of those.
Ooh,
know what those
yeah,
is?
I'll give you a
Thumbprints? What are
recipe.
those? Okay.
Gingerbread.
What about ginger
Ginger
snaps?
snaps.
See, I was going to say that's my favorite one around
Yeah?
this time of year. Just a little bit of molasses in there.
Right.
Kind of tastes like gingerbread, but it's a little bit more sweet and it's really soft. Those are where it's at.
Ooh, monster cookies. That's fun. Chocolate chip. gingerbread.
A fruitcake cookie? I've never heard of that
fruitcake
before.
cookie. That one sounds good.
That sounds awesome.
Thumbprints with raspberry jam and the Mexican wedding cookie. That's one of my favorites. Light and powder sugary.
And this was a good crowd to ask.
Yeah,
what the best cookies
you guys
were.
are good. I bet you guys are just getting geared up to make those cookies.
Sugar
Ooh,
cookie,
almond frosting.
Italian
biscotti.
So many good ones. Okay, well, Julie,
That is amazing. And do you think we've let them sweat enough?
I was going to say, I think we've let
Okay,
them sweat enough.
we let
and
you
we're
sweat.
Right there. So who is the winner and what is the prize?
Okay, so the winner of the prize for Midday is the the prize is the True Cut Master Cutting Collection.
Wow, that is a big
It
old
is
collection.
a big one. And so, let's see, do you want to do a drum roll and see who's going to win that?
Da, 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 da.
Ooh, Charmaine Delabella. Ooh, I love your name,
That is such a
Delabella.
cute name.
Yeah.
Charmaine Delabella. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
You got that entire True Cut Master Cutting Collection.
You did, and make sure you reach out to Allegra again. We'll put her name back up for you, and so that you can collect your prize.
That is such an awesome video. She got the 360
Yes.
in there. She got the straight cutter. She's
And
got
that
all
sharpener.
sorts of different rulers.
That's a good
Awesome.
one.
Congratulations.
Good job. Thank you. Now, before we go, we just want to introduce the next segment. First of all, we want to wish you Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, Happy Kwanzaa. If I forgot one, I'm very sorry. Happy Holidays from all of us at the Grace Company. But we just want to tell you the next segment coming up is our HBQ stories. And you guys, these are stories that come in from you, read by us. And we just want you to know that we love to hear your stories, and please keep them coming.
Yeah, so thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you have a lot of fun watching this next segment. Again, please share if you are enjoying it, and thank you again so much for joining us.
All right, thanks, guys. Hi, this is Julie, and I'm here today to read an HBQ story from one of our viewers, from Suzanne in West Covina, California. And Suzanne wrote that when she was 8 years old, she used to make quilts with her grandma. And she also made table covers and learned how to embroider leaves and flowers. She really loved doing that. Grandma taught her a lot of things. When she turned 20, she bought her first sewing machine and started making lap quilts. And so she made lap quilt after lap quilt for friends and family. And her favorite part about that was just the joy on everybody's face when she handed them out. She says, that is just priceless to me. She made a quilt for her husband. He was in the military, and she added all of his military pictures, and it gave her so much joy to watch him show off that blanket to all his military friends and his buddies. Suzanne has 5 boys and 1 girl. Her youngest boy has actually taken up quilting. He's made 5 quilts, and he really loves it. They enjoy doing that so much together, and although she thinks that she is not a pro, she thinks she'll get there someday.
Hi everybody, my name is Allegra Erznosnik and I'm an account executive here at the Grace Company. I have a wonderful HBQ story to share with you today. It's from Terry, and she's from Tucson, Arizona. She starts her story with telling us how that when she was a toddler, she had trouble walking and was often held by a lot of her family members. And then she moved on to get training shoes and leg braces. And she also said that she was really close with her grandma, and they called her Nana Pancha. Nana Pancha, though, only spoke Spanish and she only spoke English, so they didn't often talk to each other. They just hung out a lot of the time. And she used to watch her grandma hand embroider with a small hoop frame. And eventually, when she would come over, her grandma would have a small hoop ready for her with a needle already threaded, and she would tell her how to do it just by pointing in the direction that she was supposed to stick the needle through the fabric. And then they moved on to quilting together, which I thought was really cute, and they would do small squares and sew them together. She did say her Nana had a treadle machine, but it was in storage, so I think they were doing hand sewing. I'm not really sure. Unfortunately, though, about 3 years after that, her Nana ended up passing away, and she inherited all of her quilting supplies. But she said that they sat unopened for 3 years, and I think it's just because she wasn't sure how to proceed without her grandma telling her how to do it. And then she got in to, I think, middle school in her home ec classes, and then she learned how to sew. And she says that the Christmas after that, she found a brand new sewing machine under her Christmas tree, and she just blossomed into loving quilting and crafting and all of this stuff. And eventually, her friend took her to a quilting block class, just a 1-hour class where they make a block, and it ended up turning into a monthly thing for them. And it really changed her perspective on quilting, knowing that it's not limited to just little squares, that there's lots of patterns and fun designs out there that you can make, and that it's really just based on your own creativity and what you want your quilt to look at. And she said that she became hooked, and she is an avid quilter now. I think that's just such a beautiful story, knowing that her and her grandma didn't have to talk to share this really close relationship, or for her to pass down a wonderful hobby that she loves to do. So thank you for sharing your story with us, Terry. We really love it, and we think it's really heartfelt and warming.
Hi, I'm Catherine. I am an account executive here at Grace Company, and I have a wonderful HBQ story to tell you guys today. This is the story of Bonnie from Birmingham, Alabama, and she tells the story of how she started quilting and where she is now. She started quilting at 5 years old after asking her Nana to teach her, and her Nana said, "Child, I am blind and I cannot teach you. No one can teach you what is in your heart." Next morning, she woke up, she found an envelope filled with different pattern pieces cut out of paper, cut out of newspaper, cut out of magazines. No instructions, just the pattern pieces. She became a self-taught quilter. She started by hand, quilting the pieces by hand. Then she started using a hand crank, then a treadle Singer machine, and she still quilted it all by hand. She pieced it with the machines, quilted by hand. A lot of times she'd find that she'd get it all quilted, and then she'd have to rip it all out because it wouldn't quilt properly the way that she had pieced her pieces together. She also went on to teach others how to quilt, more as a guide, less as an instructor. She really does think that those who have quilting in their hearts will quilt. They don't have to be taught. They'll quilt, they'll figure it out. They'll find an instructor. When she heard of the Cutie frame, she was changed. As soon as she received her Cutie, it changed her whole world. The way she was quilting, she started with creating the Cutie Quilters Facebook group, and then she went on and started a YouTube channel called Quilting on a Thread with Bonnie Kemke, and able to show her other viewers and friends and quilters how to use the Cutie quilting frame. She never believed that she would be doing what she's doing and teaching others what she's doing, but she knew she loved it, and that is where she is now. She still loves it, still loves quilting, loves teaching others, helping them grow and learn. And I love that story. Thank you so much, Bonnie, for sharing it with us.
Hey, my name is Jarek with the Grace Company. I'm an account executive here, and this is an HBQ story I like. And I'm just going to read it to you and tell the story. This is by Paulette. She's from Florida. Paulette started as a sewer in the 50s since her father worked for reprocessing fabrics. She says that, you would call them a recycler today. So that gave her access to a lot of different kinds of materials, lots of things, different things to play around with, silk, satins, everything in between. And by the time she was 13, she was designing and making all of her own clothes. Her mother and grandmother, they also knitted, so that gave her more exposure to that. A sad part of the story, her world changed a lot when her mom was diagnosed with cancer and she had to take over a lot of the household duties. She became very interested in science, and she hopes to one day find a cure for cancer. For the next 50 years, she worked full-time, went to school at night, and dedicated herself to research, clinical, and development of biotech cancer treatments. Super cool. 15 years ago, she finally retired full-time employment and moved to Central Florida with her partner of 30 years. She took classes in stained glass and really fell in love with designing, choosing colors, selecting different kinds of ways to go together, and making beautiful arts of work under the mentorship of a local artist there in Florida. She too was diagnosed with cancer and was on blood thinners and had to give up her new passion of creating glass. So then she turned back to making clothes, she started making pictorial wall quilts. And it seems that they're the same design layout cutting techniques that glass required except for the glass cuts. So she's like, oh hey, like this is very similar. So when she was diagnosed with cancer, then she moved to doing the quilting, which ended up being a lot like the stained glass that she really loved. So she upgraded to her 40-year-old Bernina to a machine and invested in a Cutie with a brother domestic machine. Her free motion skills, she says, were not there, and I want them to be, so she recently purchased a 16 to help her with those skills. You know, she can't take her savings with her, and she's on the downhill side of a mountain, and she has no desire to travel anymore since her career took her all over the world. And she loves being able to design and quilt patterns and put all various patterns together with the automatic features of the QCT5. Together with her Bernina embroidery, she can make fun art quilts for wall hanging and lap quilts, as well as the failures that my dog appreciates. That's really cute. So it uses all the gold features, especially the pattern CAD and the Eclipse, where it says that's where you take out a section. You can say, hey, don't quilt here, so that way you can do like applique and you don't quilt over a certain section. When life sends you a curveball, you gotta keep swinging and the world will appreciate your efforts. And then after years of radiation, chemo, and finally biotechnology drug, she's glad to say that she is in remission from stage 4 cancer. So quilting has been the lifeline that has kept her sane during the trying and difficult times. And she says, you're never too old to learn a new skill. Thank you so much for sharing, Paulette. It has a very touching story, and thank you for submitting it.
Hi, I'm Laurel Daniels. I am the assistant manager here at Grace Company, and today I'm going to be sharing with you an HBQ story of Cookie. Cookie started quilting in the late 70s, where her first quilt was a 12 by 12 puffy quilt. It was a fiber fill. Now fiber fill was very heavy and she stuffed a lot in there, so it was a very heavy quilt for her. So it was just kind of her first one getting into it. With that, life did intervene, and so kind of quilting up moved to the side a little bit. 2015, around that time frame, her husband did pass away. So the home they had lived in for 35 years, she sold, moved out of, and moved up to Virginia, just closer to where she was working. But it turns out to be a 200-year-old historical house. Just a little bit after she had moved there, someone from the Historical Society came and visited her and asked if they could do a little bit of a presentation. She said yes, of course, you know, she wanted to have an open house. So she thought, hey, well, this is the perfect opportunity, and she kind of got back into quilting. So she quilted a 9x9 squares, and I want to say she hand did them just because she talks about how tiny, you know, the little squares were that she was working on. Now, because of how close it was to them coming over, she didn't quite get to finish the quilt. She did just the first top part of it, but she thought, no worries, I'm going to go ahead and make the bed. The showing went wonderful. It was wonderful for people to be able to see that home. Just touch that quilt away, and she thought, hey, you know what, I'll get to it a little bit later. And she pulled it back out, and sure enough, there was a lot of loose threads there still, just from packing it away and leaving it set aside. She kind of talks a little bit about those microscopic pieces. So she did finish the top. She hasn't quilted it, but that's where you can see, she says, don't look too closely, but she is very proud of her work.
Hi, I'm Jana Matthews with the Grace Company. I'm here with another story from our HBQ quilters. This story is about Barbara from Grayson, Kentucky. Barbara tells us about when she was first introduced to quilting at the age of 11 by her grandmother, so fantastic. And she first learned how to do a bow tie quilt. That is way cool. She said that she quilted it, but then she kind of put it away and forgot about it. And then in high school, she started doing it again and got it all finished. But then she lost it. She got married, she moved around, she never did find that again, but she started quilting again, and now she has great-grandchildren and grandchildren she's been doing quilts for. She's just super busy. She quilts on the 19 Unique machine and frame, and she says she's a little nervous about doing one for her firstborn grandchild, who is now a mother and is doing the quilt for that grandchild. But congratulations, Barbara. We really are so excited to hear more about you and your quilting journey. Thank you so much for sending in your story today.
I'm Melinda Romero with Grace Company. I'm an account executive, and I'm super excited. Wonderful HBQ story from Judy out of Medellin Falls, Washington. Judy has been quilting for quite a few years, since she was about 4 years old. She started with darning yarn and a large needle, but she joined 4-H. at 8 years old, and she's been sewing ever since then. First project on her own was made from clothes and shirts from her husband. Her first quilt for herself at age 20. She's 76 now. She doesn't even know how many quilts she's quilted, within her lifetime. She always seems, her quilts get better and better. And I think that's kind of a testament for a lot of quilters. We don't know what we don't know. Every quilt you learn, something new within that process. One of her first quilts going back for her in-laws, that quilt is still in the family. Thank you, Judy, so much for your story. It's very inspiring. 76 now, been quilting since you were 4. Finish those UFOs that you may have stashed away. Blossom with that creativity. Thanks again, Judy.
Hi, my name is Anthony Witterberg. I am an account executive here at Grace Company. I wanted to come on and take a moment to share a wonderful HBQ story from Belinda here in Kentucky. Well, not here in Kentucky, but she's in Kentucky. So she starts her story with us saying that had the quilting gene in her all along, even though she didn't quite enjoy it from the start. Her mom and her grandmother were avid hand quilters, and they loved to do it, but it had just never gotten to her. Her sewing journey began when she was 8 years old, and she had actually become a seamstress and started to make her own clothes and really enjoyed that. Next, she was helping her mom, with all the cutting of the fabric, the piecing, really getting into what quilting is, and that's when the piecing bug hit her, but not quite yet the quilting bug. So she had started doing her own piecing, really making some beautiful designs, and sent them out to another quilter to finish them up, but something didn't quite feel right with that. She had wanted these quilts to be done, but they didn't feel like they were her personal designs. She had decided to invest in a long arm and made about 7 or 8 quilts and really enjoyed it. But life happens, gets in the way. Unfortunately, her mom did have some medical issues, had a stroke, but moved in with her and her husband. They had become her primary caretakers, and in the meantime, Belinda had been drawing out a bunch of designs, about 20 to 25, just to keep her hands busy, get some designs out there. And, back with more unfortunate news, her mother did end up passing away. And so she decided to take the time that she would be using to care for her mother to reinvest in a long arm and try again. She did end up getting the full setup, and she has done about 50 quilts in the last 3 years, which that is amazing. That's a ton of quilts to turn out. Keep going with it, keep pushing out those quilts and see if maybe there's a magic touch, a magic item, some new techniques that really spice up the game.
Are you the spirit of grace? Spirit of grace future, I presume. Well, let's see my future then.
Hello everybody, I'm Melinda Romero, account executive here at Grace, and joining me,
I am Anthony Witterberg. I'm also an account executive here at Grace.
and today we're super excited because we're demoing our 19X Elite machine. I'll tell you what, Anthony, I think this is probably like my favorite. It's my dream machine.
Ooh.
It's fantastic.
This one's not my dream machine, but I love it. Probably second best to the other one I demoed earlier, but what makes it your dream machine?
I love the 19-inch throat. I love that I have so much space to be able to quilt. I love that it's not an overly bulky machine, feels manageable. Right before we started, we were just talking about, who sets these up, and we need to accommodate us short people. You and I, we're what, pretty much about the same height?
Right about.
And I just love the versatility of the machine, the adjustable handles of the machine. I love that the handles are very easily adjustable. They telescope, they can tilt, very much like, I don't know, the steering wheel in our cars. So you can make it adjustable and comfortable. just so we have the ease to finish our projects in comfort. But those aren't the only features I love about this machine. Anthony, go ahead and tell us, I don't know, what's your favorite feature about the machine?
I think I gotta say, across the board on the Elites, the 7-inch display is probably my favorite thing ever. You know, you have all of your easy access different stitching modes. You have 4 different stitching modes: the precise, the cruise, you can do manual, and a basting stitch. And then my favorite part about the screen is it gives you help settings. I don't know about you, I can't ever keep track of a manual anytime I need it. It's always in the box that I'll remember where I put it.
Yes.
And that box is...
Whatever filing cabinet, whatever safe place. My safe places, I forget about it in like a day, 2 days. And then I'm like, where did I put that? Where was my safe space?
Exactly.
But you're right, just that help feature or that help area really just has what you want to find in your manual right at your fingertips at the machine. I think probably one of my most common questions, how do I maintain my machine? And that can easily be found right in this wonderful help section under maintenance. We have the cleaning guide, the oiling guide, right there at our fingertips. So for that being probably one of the most common questions, having the information readily, easily available, phenomenal. So yes, I love all the wonderful help features, but what about if we go into our toolbox? We have our measure tool, calculator, bobbin estimator, edge warning, project. What's your favorite feature here, Anthony?
Personally, my favorite feature here would be the project feature. I would have to say bobbin estimator is a close second, but I love the project feature because you can see how much time and effort you have spent on your machine as a whole and each project. So if you're big into selling quilts, or you really just want to know how long does it really take me to make a king size or a baby quilt, you can track it. Again, back to the car, kind of like how you can track your miles on your car, you can track your miles and your lifetime on your machine.
I love that. How do you kind of adjudicate, in a sense, what you're charging to finish those quilts when you have that information easily available for each and every project? So my favorite feature would be the bobbin estimator. I don't know about you, Anthony. In the few projects I've done, I've run out of my bobbin a handful of times.
Oh yeah.
When you run out of your bobbin, it's like your stomach just drops and you're like, oh no, what happened? What's going on? I'm not stitching. And you go through this kind of panic mode and you're trying to determine what exactly happened. 9 times out of 10, it's you ran out of bobbin.
Yeah.
So having that bobbin estimator, you can name your bobbin, then we can estimate how many yards are on the bobbin. All of our machines have M-class bobbins, tons of thread,
Huge.
But you can estimate how many yards you think will be on that bobbin. I tend to estimate probably about 70 yards. So right here we can turn the bobbin estimator off or on. On the side we can see when we turn it on, we get a green indicator. That indicator will change colors as we're going through the thread on the bobbin. Such a lifesaver, just kind of for my personal sanity as I'm quilting, just to know when I'm gonna run out of bobbin. All right, so what else about this phenomenal machine, Anthony?
I do want to highlight back here, we do have a bobbin winder. So when you are running out, you see that red light coming up, you may want to jump back there. It is on its own separate motor so that you don't have to worry about, if you're hooking up automation, you don't have to worry about that messing with anything. You can just load up your bobbins, come on back, and it does perfect fill every time for you.
It does. And it's so fast. I would say, you can wind a bobbin in 30 seconds or less?
Yeah, it's
phenomenal. Now, Anthony, I know you talked about the different stitch modes. How are those useful?
Those are useful in wanting to get different, designs, or just in a better way of being able to accommodate for how you quilt. The precise mode, as long as you're moving, that needle is going to jog up and down. Once you stop, it's going to stop. So that if you are like, let me stop for a second, rethink what I'm doing in this next spot, you're not going to have to worry about causing some sort of rat's nest underneath. Cruise mode, I like to think of that, let's bring it back to a car again. Cruise control in a car. You set it and it's going to keep running jogging that needle up and down no matter where you're going. I like to use that one for like tight corners or really small designs because you can get in there, let it stitch a few times and come back out. Really nice for, star designs. I like to use. I am not great with the manual mode personally. I get a little fast and crazy and my stitches are all different sizes.
There's so many people out there that prefer and love to use the manual mode. They're skilled enough to be able to control how fast they're moving the machine to keep their stitches even in length. I know our director of education, Carla, she does most of her projects in manual mode.
Oh my gosh.
She's been making quilts forever. I don't know how long forever is, but it's been a very long time. She's just that good where she just prefers that manual mode. I would compare it to just like using our domestic machine. Again, there's no rhyme or reason. That needle is still going to move up and down, but there's no stitch regulation. You're regulating the stitches just based on how fast or how slow you're moving the machine. Now, tell us about the based option.
So your basting stitch, to keep everything all together. When you make your quilt sandwich, you just go along the top. You have 3 different sizes actually that you can do with your basting stitch. Every time I baste my quilts, I use the medium one. I just think it looks nice and not like too far apart. But, they're just long, nice stitches to go across. And I actually saw on one of our previous videos, someone used it to mark out their designs instead of using their pencil to draw. So there is more features for the basting stitch than just basting. You get creative with it.
Yes, and I would say that's true with all of the stitch options. Precise, cruise, manual, based. Choose the stitch mode that feels comfortable to you and helps you achieve the best results for your quilt. So I love how easy it is to change the bobbin on our machines. They're front loading. All I ever have to do is pull the machine to the side, pull it forward, open the little door, and I can very easily pull my bobbin out. Okay, once we put the bobbin back into the bobbin holder, again, we'll just slide it in, push it in, you'll hear that click, and then your bobbin is ready to go. Yes. Love how easy it is to access that. The 19-inch throat of the machine, again, giving you the space available to quilt your most beautiful projects, whether you're playing, practicing, doing something in a sense on a professional level, everything that you need to achieve the highest quality quilts you can find on the 19X Elite. Now, before we started, we were talking about the stitch speed of the 19X Elite. It is a fast machine.
Very fast.
Incredibly fast. So you can achieve up to 2,200 stitches per inch. Phenomenal speed. You have your regulated stitch modes, your manual, again, just everything built directly into the machine to help you quilt easier, faster, and more enjoyable time doing it. Anthony, can you think of anything that we've missed?
Personally for me, I have threaded machine after machine after machine, but time and time again, I will forget a step. On the side here, it does label out exactly what you need to do to get the correct threading on your machine, so you aren't, having any tension issues because it's been misthreaded. And along with it being on the side, that's another thing up here in our settings. Oh, not the settings, in the help with preparing to quilt. So you can find it in 2 spots on here. It's a great tool to utilize.
I'm so glad you brought that up because just like you, every machine threads a little bit differently. Having those reminders pad printed on the machine, in the help section, in the display of the machine, phenomenal. Just having those resources right there ready to go. So Anthony, what else can we talk about with the 19X Elite? I really want to know why it's not your favorite machine. After all these cool features we've just talked about.
I'm personally impartial to the 16X Elite. Funny enough, me and the 16 actually started here at the same time. I was coming on board as soon as we started selling it. But you may have convinced me to join the 19 side. The 3 extra inches of quilt space, it's got all the features that I love on the 16X Elite. So you may have me rethinking my decisions here.
Awesome. That must mean I did my job.
You work in sales, you done good.
Awesome. Well, I think, you know, we have some phenomenal sales for our show for this week. And, you know, we'll get into a little bit more of those sales here in a little bit. Again, I've enjoyed demoing the 19X Elite. Sounds like I've converted you. The 19X Elite is now your favorite. So Anthony, one last, you know, quick thing. As with all of our machines, they're compatible with all of our frames. Whether you want something as small as the Cutie Breeze, or the Evolution Elite frame. This is our Evolution hoop, but again, the 19X Elite will fit on all of those frames, the Q-Zone frames, Q-Zone hoop, Q-Zone queen, whatever your space will accommodate. This machine will pair perfectly with any of our frames.
Yes, I would recommend taking a look at our bundles, see what we have to offer, and just know that this machine will grow with you wherever you start on your quilting journey.
Yes, love it, love it. Well, Anthony, I think we do need to get into our next session. So thanks everybody for having us today, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
This has been our best year in sales yet. Thanks so much for all of your effort.
We're so proud of all of you.
Wait, this is great. We had an awesome year of sales. Everyone is happy. This seems like the perfect future. What? What do you mean? Everyone seems happy, aren't they? I must have done something right. What? Where am I? Am I nowhere to be found? Am I not at Grace in the future? I didn't get to be a part of it? I missed out because I was so focused on what I thought was the most important thing. But it is important that it keep the business going, isn't it? I didn't mean to push everyone away in doing so. But I see now, Grace has always been about putting the customers first and giving them the best experience possible. I've been so afraid of what the future may bring that I missed out on what I have and what I can give to others. Is this future set in stone? Is there nothing I can do?
That's completely up to you.
Hey everybody, it's Jason Miles here from So Powerful, and I'm really excited to be able to present a little bit more about our program to you today and have you check out what we do and how you can get involved. So we've got a video that tees it up pretty well. We're going to introduce and let you watch, and then we'll talk about it a little bit more after that.
Education is very important, especially for a girl child. For us here in Zambia, it's very common. If a girl child doesn't complete her education, the easy thing for the parents to do is marry her off. And at a young age, it's just not right. It breaks my heart seeing a young girl getting married at an early age when she really, really wants to finish her education. A lot of girls do not feel comfortable going to school while on their periods. Myself, I wasn't able to concentrate in school because of that. Because most of the times I'll be worried to say, oh, what if I stain my clothes? What if someone sees me? It's not easy in our community buying pads, especially if we have maybe 4 or 5 girls in one household. It's very expensive. So basically what So Powerful does, we make the reusable pads for the girls. Our kit consists of panties, a soap, and the reusable pads. The women overseas, they saw the purses for us that we receive here in Zambia that we use to pack the reusable pads for the girl child. It brings me great joy when I see the girls and how happy they get when I give them the reusable pads. The health training that So Powerful does, we talk about hygiene, how a girl child is supposed to keep herself, not just during her period, but on her daily basis.
So this is the top and this is the bottom, which
a lot of women, when they joined So Powerful, they had nothing to do. They had no job. A lot of them, they had no skill. And now, as they joined So Powerful, they're able to provide for their family. They're able to help other people in the community. They're able to support their children and also support their children by seeing them through school. My biggest transformation of providing for my family. I'm the breadwinner of the family. Right now I'm supporting my mom and my other siblings as well. And also helping the girls in the community. Definitely the big transformation, because you find that everywhere I go, they'll be like, oh, madam, when are you coming to give us more reusable pads? We enjoy having them. Because of So Powerful, they're able to go to school, they do not miss their class, and they're empowered by what we're doing here.
We began this program in 2009 with a group of 8 women in the community that you saw there on video. It's called Nombe Compound in Lusaka, Zambia. The ladies there were eager to try to raise money for a school that they wanted to have built, and they, as it happened, met us and we interacted with them, and so we began working on the idea of a vocational sewing program there. And they started by making school uniforms for their community, and for 6 years, that's all we did with them, was spend time figuring out how to help them build a sewing program that really blessed the community and the children of the community, and did well for them as well, because they earned income as they made school uniforms. And we served thousands and thousands of children that way in that very desperate community. And so in 2015, we had heard about the idea of girls staying home on their period because they didn't have supplies, and we had seen what other charities were beginning to do in that regard, and we really talked as a group about how we might address that issue. And so the ladies there began making a reusable sanitary pad product, and we wanted to get people involved in the project. This was just a personal passion project for my wife and I, really before then, and we had a few donors, but not really that many. And so what we decided to do was ask people to make a crossbody purse. My wife and I have a vocational sewing company called Pixie Fair, and so we had customers in that regard, and we asked them to join us by making these purses. We collect purses now from 7 countries, and this year we think we'll do about 24,000 purses from around the world, and they'll be distributed to girls in the health class there in Zambia. So the program continues to grow and grow because people feel the tug on their heart to make a difference in the life of one girl. And a lot of people tell us that they have a stash, of course, of fabric, and they sometimes wonder what to do with it. They've done other charity sewing projects, but the So Powerful purse really strikes a chord. And so they, it's about 3 fat quarters, 4 fat quarters is all you need, and the pattern's for free on our website. And then you jump in and make a purse. All the information about how to send it to us is on the website, and we take care of the rest. When we started the program in 2015, we had no idea whether people would be enthusiastic or want to participate. We, that first year, got 503 purses back, and we were thrilled by that. And that felt like a good number to us. And so we got those to Zambia, and we We did the distribution, and the ladies there did their part, and we really had a great time that first year. And we came back and told the stories, and then the next year we got 1,600 purses. And then I think the year after that it was 3,700, and it just continued to grow. And now this year we think we'll do 24,000 purses. We distributed our 100,000th purse this last June. And it's just been incredible to see the love and support for the program, the enthusiasm for it. We started this as just a personal passion project, and it's just grown to a place that we couldn't have expected. This last year, we passed the $1 million mark in total revenue, and it's just incredible. Donors have come alongside. It takes about $10 per purse to get the purses to the girls, but some people come alongside and really just support it tremendously, and it's allowed us to grow the team and grow the impact in the community. And we're just believing for even more to come in the future. There's so much need in Zambia. People ask us often if we have enough, if there's enough girls in Livingston, Zambia. There are 49 schools in the Department of Education, and they've invited us to come and serve all of those schools. And so far, we've only been able to serve 6 of them, because we just don't have enough purses. We don't have enough seamstresses. We don't, just don't have a big enough program yet. But the girls are waiting. And the reality there is that they stay home from school on their period if they don't have any supplies, which they don't. And they miss school. They don't pass their marks. Like there's a 7th grade exam score. That's a really big deal. If you don't pass that, you can't go to high school. They fail at a higher rate than the boys. And that leads to early marriage, early pregnancy, an absence of education that allows them to live out their dreams in a better life. When we started this program, we had a good relationship in the community that we serve. It's called Nombe Compound. There are 82 schools in that urban slum, and it's about 150,000 people, half of which are under 15. So it's a huge community that we can serve. And so the first school that we worked with was sort of our anchor school that we've served with since 2009. And they, the teachers and the girls, they were just so excited. And then we quickly, met the need at that school, and we were able to start working with other schools in the community. And we've gone, school after school, and it's always the same. It's a massively warm reception. It's an eagerness to have the health classes occur. The girls are so excited to participate. We say that we challenge them to stay in school all month, even on their period, but it's not a big challenge. They want to do it. They're so excited to be able to have the supplies that they need. And the officials and the government have been incredibly helpful. We have members of parliament that have advocated on our behalf. And we have Department of Education directors that are, leading us into their communities and helping us make connections at the schools. Everyone there realizes that this is a massive, massive problem, and the girls are not empowered in this way, and they all know that it's a detriment to their educational outcomes. And so the country leaders, the community leaders, school leaders, they're all incredibly grateful and ready to partner with us to see this program occur. And in Zambia, there are 3,600 schools that we think we could serve. If we scaled up to reach the whole country, that would be like the big dream. And it's a part of our 2030 vision. But we're a long way from that. Fun story. We knew that we had sort of stumbled into a topic of, energy and enthusiasm when in 2015, after we started the program, we got contacted by someone who said, "Hey, my name's Kylie. I'm a bag maker in Australia, and I've challenged my whole community to start making So Powerful purses. We're in a Facebook group. There's 200 of us, and I don't know how to answer these questions that the ladies are asking me. So you need to join this group and start, telling more about the program." And we were just blown away. And Kylie led the charge there in that group. That's become our purse makers group. There's about 6,000 people in that group now from all around the world. We have purse collectors from Europe and Canada and Australia and Brazil and on and on. And I think 7 countries we collect from now. And so it's just been an incredible kind of worldwide movement that sprung up around this idea. So if you're just thinking about getting involved, the first couple steps are to get the pattern downloaded. Again, it's free from our website. There's a beginner and an intermediate, and there's also YouTube video tutorials that do the walkthrough. People always tell us that the first time they make a So Powerful purse, it's sort of a struggle and they're sort of confused about the directions and why the pattern is set up the way it is. But after they do their first one, they're like, oh, okay, this makes sense. And they start knocking them out and it becomes very, very straightforward. So that's the first step. To go deeper beyond that, we have chapters forming all around the US and in England as well. And so if you want to get connected to a local chapter, there's a system on our website for finding those and then seeing if there's one in your area, or even setting one up if you have a guild or a small group that you want to weave into the work of So Powerful. There's a system involved for how to do that really simply on the website. And then going from there, you could always show up at a big quilt show like we were just at Houston. We'll be at Paducah and Road to California. Say hi, stop by the booth and chat with us more, learn about the program, and even drop off purses at those shows if you want to. I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody who takes the time to check out the program and to learn about it, check out the pattern, and to make a purse. It's a huge, huge gift that you're giving to the girls in Zambia. We frequently hear them say, and we know it's true, these purses are usually the best gift these girls have ever received in their life. We're working in very, very difficult places, and they don't have very much at all, and these purses are a huge, huge blessing to them. So don't underestimate the power of making a So Powerful purse.
Hi everyone, I'm Cinnamon Miles, co-founder of So Powerful, and I'm really honored to have the opportunity to invite you to join us in the So Powerful Purse Project. What is the So Powerful Purse Project? I'm glad you've asked. This is an amazing program that we created back in 2015. It intertwines seamstresses like you with the women in Zambia in the local community sewing cooperative. Together, you're creating something really meaningful that goes to girls in the community and enables those girls to stay in school and finish their education. So how do we do this? It's a free purse pattern that you can download. We ask you to use your sewing skill and your fabric stash and create a purse. You send that purse back to us, and then when we have them in Zambia, the women in that sewing cooperative, they're paid, they have a great job, they're making reusable feminine hygiene products. Those go in the purse along with soap and underwear and a note card written by you. It's then given to the girls in the local community schools. The girls are challenged to stay in school all month long, and all of it together, it's changing the lives of girls in the community. It's changing the lives of women in the community, and hopefully it's changing your life too. So I invite you to follow along with the So Powerful Purse tutorial and use your fabric stash, cut out your pieces, and sew a purse for a girl in Zambia too.
It was just a dream? It was just a dream. I still have time to change.
What are you doing? We have another segment to shoot.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to be a tyrant. I didn't mean to push you all away. I just wanted to help the company and you all to be the best, but I missed out on what's really important. I want you all to enjoy your time here, and I want you all to help our customers have the best experience. If I'm not doing this for our wonderful customers and all of you, I'm doing it for the wrong reasons. Our goal has always been to connect people with their passions. I want to help as many people as possible and give them the best. A 21X Elite on an Evolution Elite frame with QCT6 Pro.
What makes that such a good gift?
Let me show you. Hi everybody, thanks for joining. My name is Mark.
And I'm Jana Matthews. We're here from the sales team. We're so excited to show you the 21X Elite on the Evolution Elite frame.
Yes, let's start with the screen on the 21X Elite. This screen is 7 inches touchscreen.
It's fantastic. It's perfect for if you're having trouble seeing. Also, we've got some help features on there. It's really wonderful. We're gonna walk all the way through it.
Yes, built-in stitch regulation that you can control what setting you want from the screen. We have precise, cruise, based, and manual that you can come on here and go in and select which one you want just by a push of the button. The screen lights up so you can see exactly what you're doing.
The thing I love about this is as you're going along, you can select it. And then you also have the handlebars. They're not inclusive, you can't use the handlebars with the screen or vice versa. So if I'm ready to go, but I was thinking maybe that stitch mode is just a little bit too short, I can do that as well.
Absolutely. There's so many wonderful features that comes not only with the screen, but with the machine. You talk about the help files that are built in there. So if you want to check on how to load the bobbin, wind a bobbin, thread your machine, clean your machine, all of that stuff is built in to this screen, just in case if your manual ends up walking away.
Well, I always say you put it in a safe place, and then that safe place maybe gets forgotten. And that's all right here in the help section, right? Everything is there. What do we need help with, right? Preparing the quilt, troubleshooting, maintenance. So all those things are included so that you don't have to remember how to do it or maybe go find the manual when you're trying to work on them.
That's right. The one feature I love is the edge warning.
Ooh.
And there's other tools in there too, but let's look at the edge warning. And if you go down to toolbox, you get edge warning, bobbin estimator, calculator, measuring tool, and projects if you want to say projects that you're working on. Now, when we're quilting, and if you're new to quilting, you know what it's like when you're looking at your needle and you're bringing your machine up, your machine can crash into any rail, whether it's take-up rail or the front rail.
Yeah, you're thinking about doing those feathers, and before you know it, you've bumped into the back or the front. With the edge warning, it helps you set it for either an inch or half an inch so that you're able to get those taken care of right at that moment.
And then you can take it up to the edge of your quilt and to the bottom of your quilt, and it gives you a parameter of that 1 inch or half inch. So edge warning is a fantastic piece, whether you're new to quilting or you're a seasoned veteran at quilting. Okay, so now we have the machine set up to where you can do cruise, and cruise is a mode that will constantly cruise up and down in your needle. Okay, we have precise, that is very precision based. When you start the machine or stop the machine, that needle will stop and go. I'm gonna go ahead and let's just turn this on. I'm gonna go ahead and go to precise, and as we move it around, being regulation, once I stop, it stops. So quiet, so smooth, and I just love how easy it is to move it around with just one hand. Simple with one hand moving it.
I love that you showed holding with one hand. Those grippers there are not for you to death grip. Yeah. If you have problems opening your hand all the way, like Mark was showing, you can only have to use one. And I love the option that I can extend these out. So these handlebars come down, whichever way feels comfortable to me. I can set them up, and then I just take that bicycle clamp and put it back down, and now I'm ready to go. I don't have to try and adjust it each time.
Great for micro stippling. If you want to get really close to your stitches, you can move those handles down so you're not your hands are not up by your ears.
Or on the side, right?
Like
it's wherever is most comfortable for you.
Okay, so 21 inches, stitch regulation built in. You have 4 stitch modes from precise to cruise. We didn't even talk about cruise because I got so excited to go on the handles. But cruise is a based stitching mode that will go up and down in cruise as you're going. And this is really great if you are micro stippling or moving the machine really slow, but you want the needle to consistently go down at a speed from 5% to 25%. And right now it's set at 20%. So when I start it, you see the needle is gonna go at 20% and it will speed up. So it is still built-in stitch regulation, but that allows me, when I wanna go slow and move the needle very slow, I can still get those stitches very consistent.
I like that with the cruise, that needle's not stopping, right? So sometimes if you're in precise and you're trying to fill in a section, you might get those edges.
Especially if you're going slow.
Yeah, especially if you're going slow, if you're those feathers, if you're going really slow around them. But with cruise, it continues to sew as you're going around, and so you're able to get all those nice, smooth, clean, rounded lines.
Yep. I'm going to point out the needle jog forward and backward. This is really great because of the machine length. Okay. Even for me, if I want to bring the needle down or get to a spot on the fabric that I've already been quilting, normally we go needle down is one way. People like to spin the hand wheel to bring the needle down. There could be a laser, you can get a laser to point at the needle, but needle jog allows you to move the needle. So as you can see, the needle will go up and down as I press these buttons.
So you can get close to where you started. The other thing that I love about the 21 is it comes with the new Magnifique magnifying glass. This magnifying glass allows you to get your thread all in that needle without having to get really close or get reading glasses. The other fun thing is it comes off, so it has a handheld section So you can use it on other sections. And then it just sits back here in place and flips up.
Yeah, I love that feature. Little features that we don't really think about until you get it and you're loving it at that point.
Exactly, yeah.
I love the built-in bobbin winder. So yes, if you've been thinking, does it have a built-in bobbin winder? It does. And it has the M-class bobbins, obviously, being a long arm. But it's right here, and it's a separate motor. You don't need the machine running. You can actually wind the bobbins before you start, during your project. This machine is very easy to maintain, very easy to use, and so don't let that scare you. If you've been thinking about getting a long arm, stitch regulation, larger throw space, built-in bobbin winder, large screen, all the features from the edge warning to the needle up, needle down, and more, the 21X Elite is a machine for you, especially with the price point.
Exactly. The other thing I love about the 21X Elite is it is kind of a diva, I like to call it.
That's what you call it.
Because you can only put it on 2 frames that we have, the Evolution Elite, which you see here, and the Evolution Hoop frame. So if you have a Cutie or Q-Zone Hoop or Q-Zone Queen, now's the time to upgrade to that other frame, and then your 21 can fit on there as well.
Yep, I'm glad you brought that up. Let's talk about the frame that this diva goes on, right?
This Evolution Elite frame is fantastic.
Elite. 8 foot, 10 foot, or 12 foot. And as you can see, the frame in itself is a very beefy frame, very strong frame, very sturdy frame. I love many features about this frame. One in particular are the metal ratchets.
Yeah, this metal teeth in there, not only the teeth of the ratchet, but also the hook of the ratchet. It's all metal, so it's not going to wear out.
That's right. Metal ratchets, front and back. You can do king size quilts, you can do queen size quilts. Easy to put together. You may look at a frame that's this size and say, that's going to take me weeks to put it together, right? I need to bring the whole army over to get this assembled. Very easy frame to put together.
By myself, a couple hours.
Yeah.
Now, it's easier when you have someone with you, right? They can hold everything. You're not going back and forth, but you got to set it up against the wall. But we try and make all our products easily put together by yourself. You don't have to go to someone else, bring someone in to set it up for you. The instructions are great to follow so that we can always make sure that you know about your frame and machine as well.
That's right. The front rail is a thicker front rail with these quilt clips. And it comes with 4 of them. So you're able to float your fabric down, and when you want to ratchet, it's easy to grab and you can ratchet. You can see how easy that is for me to go ahead and ratchet the frame. It does have the 3 rails with options, Jana.
Very many options, yes.
For an idler bar, a batting bar.
Yeah, now people will ask, like, what does the idler bar do? That idler bar comes in the back here, and you put it about this level so the fabric stays straight as you're quilting, and then the regular take-up rail comes up high, and the excess fabric that you've quilted will go up there. That way you're not angling it up because the quilt is going to be so big you can't put it at the back of your frame anymore.
That's right. It is the top of the line frame, one that's going to last for a very long time, especially with the metal ratchets, thicker metal. The frame has a dual track. So
Comes
it's very
with those
easy
table
to smooth.
inserts.
Yep.
It also comes with cloth leaders that you can use if you want to. They have the
Love
Velcro on there already, so you can attach it to your fabric. So you don't need as much backing to get started with. Also, this frame and all our other frames and machines, they can have it upgraded to automation. So QCT6, which is the edge-to-edge, QCT6 Plus, or QCT6 Pro.
Automation is becoming more and more popular, but what's not as popular are the price points that some of these automations are at. Our price point on the automation is fantastic, especially the edge-to-edge one.
And you don't have to just come to us for all these fantastic prices. All our dealers have this special as well. So don't think that, oh, I have to go to Grace Company. I can't go to my local Grace dealer. Your Grace dealers have this package deal with automation or without, all ready to go for you.
With the automation, we have 3 packages, as Jana mentioned. So the edge-to-edge is our very basic low end that allows you to pick a full-on pantograph that goes from one side to the other side. If you want to upgrade to the QCT6 Plus, you get also the pantograph or edge-to-edge and more of those with the ability to do block patterns or do single patterns at that point.
Yeah, and that allows you, if you've got a couple of different blocks that aren't very designed, but other ones that are, you could do like a different pattern just on that block, so that has you able to do that, but you still have the edge-to-edge option if you want it as well.
And then if you decide to get the Pro, not only can you do what the other ones have to offer, but you can do a lot more.
It's about, like I always tell people, edge-to-edge is your basic.
Yep.
Plus is your just a little bit more, and then the Pro is if you're designing your quilt, right? You have those abilities to do quilt CAD and pattern CAD, so it's that design stuff. And then once you have Pro, you can go to the Gold card, and the Gold card is just the extra year subscription that you can do a little bit more with it.
So choose what's best for you from edge to edge, or the Plus, or the Pro. If you're looking to design the patterns, the Pro is the way to go, okay? Now you can upgrade, as Jenna mentioned, if you buy the edge to edge now, to get your feet wet, to understand it, and then upgrade, and then you can upgrade even more. So,
or you can just go straight from the edge to edge right to the Pro.
Yeah.
There's always an
Whatever
upgrade
works
feature.
best, right?
Exactly.
Wonderful products from our long arm, easy to maintain, easy to use. The frame, again, 8, 10, or 12-foot frame that you can do all of your quilting, and then you can add automation to it. So you can get the complete package, one that you've probably been dreaming for, especially around this time of year.
It's the perfect Christmas present, right?
It is, yeah. Not a great stocking stuffer, but it can go in your living room.
There you go. And the last thing we need to talk about is the pricing.
Yes. So, everybody sit down. Jana, you and I will stand.
We'll stand.
We'll stand. The 21X Elite on the Evolution Elite frame is normally $13,995. You can get it now for $10,998. And you can also get that through your local dealer too. Go support your local dealer. They have that same one.
So under 11,000.
Under 11,000. And then you can add automation.
Which is 20% off.
off.
Any package, right?
Any of them.
So if you already have the QCT 5 beginnings, you can upgrade to QCT 6 Pro, 20% off.
Yep. Add that to your package. Wonderful, wonderful pricing on that. So again, $10,998 on what you see behind us right now. You can get it for under $11,000. You know what?
What?
I want to give one of these away.
What?
I want to give not only the machine away,
Okay.
not only the frame away, but also add automation and the light bar.
What?
So the entire package, light bar, QCT6 Pro,
whoa,
the 21X Elite, and the Evolution Elite frame. I want to give that away.
Wow, that's an amazing prize.
It is.
Make sure you're pre-registered so you can win this package. If you have any questions, go to graceframe.com and we'll be able to help you get those answered. But I'm Jana. Thanks so much for joining us today at the 21X Elite Evolution Elite frame.
Yep, and I'm Mark, and we will see you next time.
That was really good, Mark.
Thank you. And I want to apologize to you both. You did a great job on your presentation, and you deserve to spend the holidays with your family. Now go have fun.
You must have gotten some really good rest. You seem like a changed man.
I am. I truly am. I want to wish everyone, employees and customers alike, a happy holiday. Now, Jana, come on, let's go pick a giveaway winner.
All right. Hello, everybody. We're so glad you joined us today. I'm Jana Matthews.
And I'm Allegra Erznosnik.
And don't worry, Mark and I did go and choose a winner on that final giveaway, that 21X Elite Evolution Elite frame, automation, and a light bar.
Yes.
A fantastic prize. So we'll be doing that at the end. So stick around. We've got a couple other things we want to talk to you about. But thank you so much for joining us and staying with us all day long.
Yes, all day.
We've had such fantastic videos about our charities that we've chosen. I mean, some of them I'm sitting there and I'm crying. I loved a comment someone had said, they're like, I'm not crying, you're crying. Because it's true. I mean, just the amount of work that goes into those and the giving, and it's just fantastic. We also have been enjoying, I don't know if you saw Allie, but we had people talking about their favorite holiday traditions, things that they're trying to get done for Christmas. And I think all along we've had people saying, what they want for Christmas, right? More and more Grace products.
Right? Me too.
Exactly. I think I could use all of these Grace products we've talked about
I think
as well.
I could use a little Rebel for Christmas, honestly.
Oh, yeah, there you go. With or without the frame.
That's a trick question.
It's a trick question, yeah. But we're so happy to have you here. Please put in the comments if you have been having fun today. I know it seems long, and then at the same time, right at the end of it, I'm like, wow, that went so fast.
Right?
Yeah.
Me too. That's what I think as well.
One thing we want to talk about is our fantastic charities, all those that have gone. We've also want to talk about our website and the deals that's happening. We also, I don't know if you've had a chance to see our vendor hall.
I have not actually.
This is fantastic. So these are other people, other companies who have kind of a similar products as us, not the frames and the machines, but things that can help you with quilting. And so if you go to the website and then you go click on Shop on Vendor Hall, you can go in and it'll show all these fantastic places. They've got patterns, they've got pantographs, they've got fabric. It's training. It's so much fun. Really check it out. It will be live through December 17th. So if you didn't get a chance to go today, Allie, you can go through December 17th and check out the vendor hall and all the fantastic fun and other quilting pieces that maybe the Grace Company doesn't cover.
Yeah, that's great. That's a lot of extra time to be able to go back and check that out. That's amazing.
Yeah. So December 17th, again, that's when the vendor hall is going to be open. We just want to remind everybody again about scammers. Did you see the latest one that happened on social media?
I think I did.
Yeah, unfortunately, so there's people out there who are trying to get your information, and we want you to be prepared. Always know that if we have a prize and you are the winner, how do they get that information? They come to you.
They come to me, yes.
Exactly. So we will reach out to you directly. It will come from Allegra, or we'll have you reach out to her if you've gotten a prize that's been on the live. And we will always use @graceframe.com. There's a couple of times they've been asked @graceframe or @greaseframe or different things like that.
Or they put a dash in there.
Or put a dash in, yeah. So it's going to be @graceframe.com. And you can always call us or go to our website and chat with us and ask, hey, this kind of seems too good to be true. I don't remember entering. All those kinds of things, so we can make sure that we will never ask you for your private information for a credit card or Social Security or any of those things over social media or an email. We will only ask for your phone number to call you and then get that information.
Yes.
So, have you seen the deals that we've got going on?
I have seen the deals.
Oh my gosh, they're so good.
They're amazing.
Yeah, so why don't you tell us about some of the amazing things we've got going on right now on our website?
Yeah, well, first we have all of the machines are on sale, which I think is fantastic. I mean, my favorite machine, the Unique 16X Elite, is only $5,000.
Oh my gosh,
a steal.
5,000.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
And I love that all those 16s, they fit on all their frames. They're fantastic. That 16X manual doesn't have stitch regulation, but you can upgrade to it eventually if you wanted to. So you can get in at that bottom price of $34.99 and then later work on creating it into that 16X with the stitch regulation later.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, all those machines also are compatible with our automation.
Yes.
16 is compatible on all the frames and automation, so you can mix and match and do all sorts of fun things.
Yeah, absolutely. And look at the great price we're seeing on the 21X Elite. Also fantastic.
$64.99 to $84.99. Oh man, I think I need. Someone was saying, I think it was Jana Elliott earlier. She was saying, I need a bigger stocking. I think I need a 21X Elite size stocking to get my little stocking stuffer in there, right?
Exactly. Me too.
Along with our frames, when you go to our website, you can also bundle with whichever machine and frame will go together. So you have that option.
So I was at a show recently, and she was explaining to someone that it's like a la carte.
Oh,
and now I love saying that to people. They get it. We have an a la carte option.
Exactly. A la carte with just your machines, like the Little Rebel, $26.99. 13 inches of throat space and a straight stitch machine. This is our first straight stitch as well as quilting.
Yes.
I have so much fun every time we get to demo the Little Rebel.
Me too.
Because they're not all out yet. And so we just have a demo model for us to use in the showroom. And so I get a lot of fun
I'm like
playing around with it.
like a kid in the candy shop, but out the outside of the window,
Oh, yeah.
watching education use the Little Rebel. I'm like, I want to do it. Please let me in there.
I want to have some fun. We have our Cutie tabletop fabric frame is going on sale, or it is on sale, for $499. It's fantastic. It is 48 inches, does 31 inches of throat of side to side, and can do any size throat up from about 9 inches up to 19 inches.
Yes.
Now the reason we recommend 9 inches is because you lose 2 inches for the clips, so that gives you about 7 inches of throat space. You can put a 7-inch or a 5-inch on there. It just, when you do the math, you're gonna have a lot less space to do some fun designs. And you know, if you're okay with just wavy lines, then that's fine on your quilt. But
Yeah.
if you're trying to do a little bit bigger, you're gonna wanna put a bigger frame, bigger machine on
Absolutely.
that frame. Also, we've got going on our Q-Zone hoop frame and our Q-Zone queen. And did you know we now have a 2-foot extension on the Q-Zone queen?
I did. I was going to ask you that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so you can get the 8-foot for $13.99. You can add on that additional 2-foot extension so you can build with it. So you can get started on that straight single tracks, both the Q-Zone hoop and the Q-Zone queen. And then if you're ready to upgrade, you can get those dual track on the Q-Zone hoop frame or the 2-foot extension on the queen. And it does not have the dual track. So I don't want people, it will come with the table inserts, but it doesn't have a dual track. So I don't want people to get confused. If you're wanting the dual track, then that is the Evolution Elite frames, right? We have the hoop frame, 5 feet, and you can upgrade to
a rolling frame.
What?
Any size you want, really. There's so much flexibility. And this nice thing about the hoop frame is that it can also be a 5-foot rolling frame.
Yes. So if you've thought, oh, I can't have a rolling frame in my house, it's not big enough, I don't have big enough space, or like me, my space is in my hallway, you can do it for 5 feet is the Evolution hoop frame, and you can roll at that 5-foot length, or you can do it as the hoop and do a king size quilt.
Yeah, and what's also really great about it is if you have enough space or your budget changes and you're ready to get up to that rolling frame, you can just add on to it. You don't have to worry about having to sell it and get a new frame or anything like that. Easy peasy.
Yeah, everything's perfect on that. So all of our Qnique machines. Now, we had a question earlier on the 15 Pro. Is the Qnique QCT6 compatible with the Qnique 15? And it is. So any of our Qnique machines are compatible with QCT6. It's 20% off for December, the whole December, not just the show, but the whole December. But get it now so you can get it in time for Christmas, or get it in time to do quilts for Christmas.
Or if you want to stock up on gold cards, this is a great time to see it.
Gold cards don't expire.
You don't see them on sale very often.
No, this is unusual, so this is fantastic. Now, if you thought like, oh, what can I go from, if I get just the basic, can I build up to it? Yes, so you can get QCT6 edge to edge, and when you're ready, you can upgrade to the Plus, or to the Pro, or from Plus to Pro. It's all about where you are on your quilting journey and how we can help you get those kind of baby steps. You don't have to just go full throttle at the beginning. You can just build bit by bit as you're going along.
Absolutely.
So then this month, our free motion starter kit. I love this kit. It's so much fun. 20% off for $139. This has a top fabric, a batting and backing, 2 spools of finesse thread, some bobbins, whether you have a domestic or a long arm, and tracing pieces. And then it has the fantastic guide and tracing patterns. And those tracing sheets have the same drawings as on the top plate.
Yes, yeah. Helps you build your muscle memory, get comfortable with making those motions, and then a practice quilt is right there waiting for you.
Yeah, and you don't have to use your other fabric. You got the fabric right there. And I like, someone suggested, after you've done all your testing, take it to the Humane Society and give it to the cats or the dogs to
yes, absolutely.
have a nice little warm spot that you've gotten to practice your quilting on. And finally, True Cut. Da, 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 da. I love True Cut.
I love True Cut.
My favorite True Cut piece is the electric sharpener. I love that the blades, you can extend the life of them as long as you've got that tri-wing design in there. You can have it. It's so fantastic.
Yes. Man, I love all of True Cut. I think my top favorites would probably be the circle cutter, which I am now understanding is not just my favorite product, it's making the rounds. It's everybody's favorite product now.
Yeah.
Which I'm happy about it, but They always beat me to it when we get to do our Grace picks now.
I also love the 45 comfort cutter.
Yes, that was my next one.
And that you can switch from left or right-handed, whichever
Yes.
way you need it. You don't have to be just cutting with your right hand if you're normally a left-handed person.
And it's more just about it being so comfortable to use. I have a straight cutter at home, and every time I'm using it, I'm like, I just got to bring my comfort cutter home.
You're like, I just need some
Yes.
comfort and relaxing. So take advantage of these fantastic prices. Again, they're going to be through the month of December, but don't wait. Get them now. Don't think that, oh, I'll do it, because before you know it, end of December will happen and
Yes.
prices will change, and then you'll be without those fantastic stocking stuffers.
Surprisingly,
and everything like
I'm almost done with all my Christmas
that.
shopping.
Ooh, good job.
For the first time in a long time. I haven't waited until like the day before Christmas Eve.
One time I waited a really long time, and I was traveling, and I had to do some gas station Christmas shopping. It was pretty sad. Everybody got like toolkits and flashers and, you know, everything for their car was happening from that time. But
with
don't
this
do it this
20%
time.
off sale, I'm going to send my grandma some True Cut.
Oh,
She's in need of some new cutting supplies, and she doesn't watch, so it'll be a surprise.
Oh, good. Nobody spoiled for Allegra's grandma.
Yeah, don't tell my grandma.
Yeah. We just also wanted to talk about the fact that we would love to hear from you if you have our products. So we've got on our website a fantastic place. If you go in and review, leave a review on graceframe.com, we'll be able to get those approved and have you like whatever you want to talk about it, because just think about all the times. I know I'm a big review person.
Oh, me too.
I always want to see not only the best reviews that are happening, but I want to see if people have left bad reviews. So if you really don't love our product, I mean, we're not going to take that away. We want to talk to you about it, but whatever the review is, we want to hear what you think of the Grace products, True Cut,
Yes.
Unique, all the frames, everything that's happening. Tell us what we can do better. Tell us how you love it. We want to hear from you.
Yes.
So please put that on there.
Yes, and I think it's fantastic. I often have people call saying, well, my friend told me I really need to check you out, or I was at my quilting guild and someone had this and they said I need to call you. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad they told you about us. And that's just what reviews are like. People read them, they're like, okay, someone else said it's good.
Yeah.
I need to go look at it now.
Exactly. And so we would love to have you put the reviews on there. Also, we want to make sure you're following us on social media. We have several different ways, no matter which social media platform you're watching us on. Why don't you tell us all the platforms we've got there? Allegra?
Facebook, we have Grace Company Quilting. Instagram, Grace Company Quilting. TikTok, Grace Company. YouTube is The Grace Company. And our Pinterest, can you guess it, is Grace Company Quilting. Yes.
I didn't know we had a Pinterest page until recently, and I love Pinterest. I'm always putting all the different designs and things that I want to play on there. So yes, definitely follow us on social media, and please follow us. Come see all our fantastic videos on Etched. Etched is a platform that we have. It's for our education. You can see past shows. You can see past demonstrations. It's etchedtogether.com, and it's so much fun to see past projects. I love watching a project,
Me
then
too.
it has the pattern on there so I can watch how they put it together, do it myself, and then watch it again just to make sure I've got it as I'm going along.
I get it, yep.
So we have time to do a couple of giveaways
Oh my
if
gosh.
everybody would like to
Yes.
do some additional giveaways, right?
I mean,
We've still
who
got the
wouldn't,
21
right?
grand prize, 21X Elite, so what do you think is a good question we can have?
Yeah, I have a great question.
Okay.
Yes, we watched a charity segment before the final part of the
Oh,
Grace
yes.
Carroll story. Now, those of you who watched and remember, what was the name of that charity?
Oh, excellent. That's a very good question. This was the third charity we had featured on our segment today. Are we going to give them a little hint about what the segment was about, or are you just going off of it?
I'll give them a hint.
Okay, let's give them a hint.
All right, so this charity, they are a Christian ministry that works to combat extreme poverty by creating jobs that provide training and tools to facilitate the creation of purposeful products. These include purses, school uniforms, reusable hygiene pads, soap, and farm fresh food, all designed to promote and enable the academic success of children throughout Zambia while providing the dignity of work for adults.
That's fantastic. That one just really hit home for me, just how someone had mentioned earlier, they're like, you just don't realize how much need there is until you start paying
Yes.
attention and seeing all those things out there. So we have a lot of people saying the right thing. That's right. It is so powerful. SEWPOWERFUL. So congratulations, everybody who got that right. So we will pick 3 winners, one from our Grace platform, one from YouTube, and one from Facebook. And we have our lovely tree of gifts. So we're going to pick this first one. Is a 4-pack a solid thread. So we're going to do that one first. 4-pack of finesse solid thread. This is snow white, pearl white, light wool, and charcoal, I believe. So let's see, we have a winner for that one. Drum roll, Amanda Williams Adams, congratulations.
It's snow white, pearl white, smoky quartz, and light wool.
Smoky quartz, that's right.
Yes.
I got that one wrong. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
All right, so we've had Amanda, congratulations. And our next prize?
Our next prize is the 45 millimeter straight cutter.
Ooh, I love the straight cutter. I love that it has that magnet, so you can pick up the blade so easily. I may have used the magnet occasionally to pick up some pins, but normally you'd use it for the blade.
You do what you gotta do sometimes.
Exactly. Okay, so our next winner for the 45 millimeter straight cutter, Carla Battle. Congratulations, Carla. We're so happy for you on that. Again, everybody who is winning these prizes, you need to email Allegra at graceframe.com and we'll get that going for you.
Please email me. If you don't email me, I don't have any way to contact you.
It's true. We don't know who, you know, we have your name, but that's all we have.
Yes,
so
and
we
if you were a
definitely wanna get it.
YouTube winner and your name is not what your screen name is, please let me know. Because if you say, hey, I won this and I can't find your name anywhere, I'm gonna go, was it a different name?
Was it under a different name? Yes, the one that didn't win. So this is our last one from Grace Platform. This will be your favorite 360 circle cutter.
Yes.
So fantastic. So, okay, so our winner on the 360 circle cutter is Heather Rhodes.
Congratulations.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna have so much fun with these.
I love the circle cutters so much.
I love all the true cutters. Like you were saying, it's hard to pick a favorite.
It is.
Because
It
it's
is
so much
really
fun
hard.
every time you're working with it. So at the end, in our demonstration that Mark and I did with the 21X Elite, there was a magnifying piece that you can add to any machine. It's available, it comes with the 21X Elite, but you can add it to any Unique machine, any domestic machine. What is the name of that item?
Yes. It comes with 3 magnifications.
2.5, 3, and 5.
And a handheld as well.
It can attach to the front of your machine, whether it is the 21X Elite where it screws on, or the other Unique machines and domestic machines. So let's see if everybody can remember the name of that magnifying glass.
There we go, yeah.
Ooh, they're coming in. I really love this product.
Me too.
I have a lot of fun with it.
Me too. When we go to shows and they don't get installed on the machines, I'm like, everyone, I need 30 minutes. I'm gonna go around.
I can't look at this needle very well. Okay, that's right. Everybody's bringing in. Thank you so much. It's the Magnifique. Yes, the Magnifique is available for all Unique machines and domestic machines. It's available to attach on there. And so you don't have to think, oh, I only have to have the 21X Elite. You can get it added. It's only $100 for retail, so come and purchase it. It makes a great stocking stuffer.
It does.
So our first winner,
Our
what
first
do they get?
prize is the linear sharpener.
Ooh, this one's fantastic. Now, if you have a Grace or True Cut rolling blade that you're using with any of the cutters with the guide on there, you want to take off the guide for our rulers and put on the guide for the regular rulers when you're using the linear sharpener. Otherwise, the blade doesn't go down far enough in there. So that's a trick that I learned recently. So our first winner in the linear sharpener is Michelle Striegel. Congratulations. She got that question correct. That's the Magnifique. Thank you, Michelle. Congratulations. Again, email Allegra at graceframe.com.
Yes.
And she'll be able to get you out that information. Okay, so the next We'll ignore it because it wasn't a good one. Square ruler bundle and 3 packages of True Grips for you. That's the 6.5 square, 9.5 square,
Yes.
and the 12.5 square.
I love True Grips. That's what I picked for my Grace pick.
Oh, yes.
Yes, because someone stole the circle cutter already. Stole it. They didn't steal it, but
they picked it as well.
Yes.
I love the True Grips. I love putting them on not only on our Grace rulers, or True Cut rulers, but I also like putting them on the bottom of my foot pedal if I'm not in a carpeted
mine are on the
area.
bottom of my potted plants.
Yeah, there's so many things that you can do with them. So the winner for the Square Ruler Bundle is Ella Bly.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Ella. Yes, the Magnifique. And she, after that, she just said, I need these. Well, there you go. Ella, you
do.
won.
Everyone needs them.
Congratulations. Yeah. Okay, and our last prize for our Grace platform is
a 4-pack of variegated thread.
Ooh, variegated thread. I love that so much. Those are fantastic.
Let's see, that
Again, the finesse
is-
thread is a 1,500 yard cone, 150 weight. It's a 3-ply. It has the look and finish, that matte finish like cotton, but it has the strength of polyester. So congratulations. That winner is Kitsu. Congratulations.
Congratulations. I love our thread. I love our colors.
Yes.
They're just so
fantastic.
fun.
And again, you know, amazing stocking stuffers when you use the finesse thread. They just go in that stocking so easy.
Put them in there.
Yeah. Again, if you won a prize today, any of the times, not just right now, but any of the time, please email Allegra at graceframe.com and she'll be able to get you your prize. And tell her what you won so that she can confirm.
Yes.
She might, if you say, I won the 21X Elite and you didn't win it, she will have to confirm that and say, hey, it looks like you just won the square ruler, so, you know.
Yes.
Please be honest with
Tell me your
saying it.
name. Tell me your screen name if it was different. And I need your address as well.
Yes. Okay, so I think we're ready for.
Are we ready?
I think so. I think they're ready. I'm ready. You're ready. Everybody wants to know
we're all ready.
who the winner is of the 21X Elite Evolution Elite Frame QCT6 Pro, which means you'll have all the versions. You'll have 6 Pro Plus and Edge to Edge. Have all those options. And a light bar, a luminous light bar, which is LED, has no additional heat with it. So I love when it's hot outside, you don't have to worry about trying to be underneath those lights.
Yes.
True match, color match system with the luminous light bar. Okay, I think we're ready. Should we do a drum roll?
Let's do a drum roll.
Congratulations, Deborah Casson. You are the grand prize winner for today's winter market for that 21X Elite Evolution Elite Frame, QCT6 Pro, and Light Bar. Congratulations. You are the envy of everybody that's watching today.
Yes, congratulations.
But we're so happy. Thank you, everyone, for helping us celebrate our winter market today. To have a happy holidays. We just wish you guys all the best. Thank you for watching us. Thank you for being our customers, and thank you for supporting us. And remember, everything that you want to buy, you can also buy through our fantastic featured dealers. Go to our website, go to the dealer locator, find out all the dealers who are close by to you. You can get all these fantastic things there as well.
Yes. And thanks for celebrating the holidays with us.
See you guys next time. Have a great week.